When we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
Welcome to another week of Maverisations 2020. What up, gentlemen? What's good?
What's cracking, homie?
Popping, cracking.
We in the building. What's hood?
That's right. I am a bit under the weather this week, but you already know this one monkey don't stop no show. We ain't stopping no time soon. Hold on, my bad. Definitely my bad. Hold on.
You can see from the...
My bad.
Oh, good.
Yes, so you already know, little off because I am under the weather a bit. But we wasn't calling out no show because this was this was a definite week that we had to bring you guys this live topic of what we're about to talk about. As you guys already know, media influence on relationships. A lot of people out here in this age that we live in now feel as if they are solid and they are rooted in their foundation. And we never dealt with a society that was basically had a part of it dealing with technology such as social media. That social media pretty much emerged in the where you see social media really emerged like full-fledged, like 2010, around there. You guys are media dudes. What would you say, Bobby?
Oof.
Like
Go ahead,
2009.
Let Major cook first. I'll go ahead with the.
What now?
No,
What was the
like,
question? I'm having a
I
little
was just
trouble with the
asking.
audio tonight for some reason. What's the question again?
No, I was saying like around social media was around what, like 2009, 2010, around that era.
When it started becoming really, really hot and just being like something that everybody was on every day about then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, MySpace was kicking off around 2000s ish.
Yeah, but
MySpace was a thing.
MySpace really didn't have the features like it upgraded. So even though we had MySpace, it kind of was like a more better AOL, because if you want to go there, you have to go back to AOL. You know what I'm saying? And and the parents,
to be honest, social media really, because social media been around for a while. Facebook was still like a collegiate site for the most part back in those days. But really, social media as we know it and refer to it, for better or for worse now, that was really the perfect storm of because we had camera phones around we had smartphones back then, but that was really the perfect storm of YouTube, Twitter, and kind of Twitter, then also Facebook being open to the public in general, and then really camera phones, because that was when the concept of going viral was a thing. And that's when it really became a thing where you could like take a video or take a clip or whatever, share it on one side of the country, and it's available in the other side of the country, or even across the waters, international landscapes. But before then, people had messaging groups. They were chatting in IRC and all that stuff back then. So social media was a thing. But what we know it as today, this giant organism, that was when it became accessible, when people realized that you can create content, even if it's only 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds long, and share with different places. And people in Seattle, Washington knew what was going on in, Raleigh, North Carolina. And people in Houston were on the same page as people up in Detroit, Michigan. So that was when social media, as we know it, really became a thing.
Good point. And you know what? If you really want to give it a number, I would have to say then, speaking to Bobby's point, it'll be in 2015, because YouTube is really only 6 years old now. That's when YouTube took off. That was the ultimate game changer. Everything with the doors just blew the hell open. You know what I'm saying? YouTube took off, and then Instagram came in right around the same time, and it's like,
and then
whoa!
Can't forget WorldStar. That's when viral became something to aspire to, because you could get widespread on YouTube, but like it is with just about all companies, all inventions, YouTube was the godfather. But WorldStar kicked in the door and took it to the next level. So now this is an aspiration. Now going viral is a thing. Now the goal is to go viral, to have your thing popping off, especially for less than wholesome content or what have you.
Real talk.
Yeah. So around that time, around that era, everybody really wasn't really solid in their foundation. It started drifting into being influenced by what they saw, because like I said before, that we didn't really have that type of influence. Like, we had to be the best person that we could be in a proximity era, right? So if I was the man of Miami, nobody would know that unless you in Miami. Like if somebody was in Denver, they wouldn't know me unless I made the news some form of fashion. But otherwise, like, you know, I had the best car out here, or I'm out here as the best comedian underground. You really wouldn't know that unless you hear, you know what I'm saying? And I think like when that shifted and it became more popular and more accessible for you to be where you are and be seen and heard elsewhere, it's like everything just shifted. So
Yep.
once people got that, you know, social media, I wouldn't even say just social media, but anything that is new, that is hot, that people are amped up on, is like a form of drug. It's like a new drug. And that's what social media became, because everybody wanted to be viral. And then when one person took off and went viral, and then they started getting paid in some form of fashion, now everybody feels like they have the opportunity to get paid the same way.
Right.
And that's where a lot of these dumb pranks come from, because you had one guy who started up the prank thing, made money off of it because everybody wanted to watch the dumbness. And then everybody else now is starting up all these pranks, which I think is very, is so cringeworthy to watch them. I don't even watch them anymore. I see them and I just scroll past them. I don't care if they're funny or not. I just scroll past them because it's like you don't even know if they're authentic or they're staged, you know,
True.
because everybody is trying so hard to get as much clicks, and they would do whatever they want to do to get the clicks. And I think that's what happens with social media and how it became an influence, such a huge influence in relationships, is because one person saw somebody out here doing their thing and putting on this facade, because we don't really know how they're really living. They might live like that, they might not. But for the most part, what we know most times that we go through the facade. The show Catfishing really exposed a lot of people on the facade era, right?
Yeah.
And so they put out this image like everything is good and everything is portrayed that way. So guess what? People are gonna follow that same blueprint. They're gonna follow what they say. And when they do that, they end up, when they do that, they end up starting a trend. And then that's when the trend, if it's a big enough trend, it's going to influence the masses, because now whatever is trendy, everybody want to get on. You look at today, they have these Sonic boots, right? I think they're Sonic boots, the red boots that all these celebrities are wearing for $1,000. They look real corny.
Nonsense stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It's trendy, right? And now
Right.
you got everybody trying to throw them on. I even seen one kid went to prom with them on. You know what I'm saying? That's how powerful
Wow.
social media has become, and people think that it social media has influenced us in fashion, in music, in art, and people don't understand that it also influences you in relationships, behavior. A lot of that is very powerful, and you're
Real talk.
seeing a lot of people being influenced by that, and it's crippling our society, it's crippling our ecosystem. Because when you have people that's out here doing things for likes and doing nonsense just to be seen and heard, they're basically selling their souls to the world for cash. And it doesn't have to be part of the Illuminati or anything like that. You can sell your soul on a basic level.
Yep.
Right?
Hmm.
We have pastors and preachers that sell their soul all the time on a basic level. You know
Every
what I'm
day.
saying? And it damages the community, because instead of you going out there and healing the people in the right way, or telling them how to go and be prosperous and how to really grow their community, you know, and push life into their community, they're telling you, oh, give me all this money, give me all your money. It's a Levi seat. Put in your whole week's check, and I guarantee you the Lord gonna give you back 10 times as much. And you have people that have been doing this for years and they ain't received $1 back since, or haven't even seen it. and they've been living in poverty. So you have people on the lower level that's out here doing some grimy stuff, selling out our people, you know what I'm saying, for a dollar. You know, you pack up these people inside the Lord's house and the AC go out and you asking for AC money, but yet you driving some real lavish cars. You know what I'm saying? And the people in there being hot, listening to your sermon on a Sunday, being very religious and faithful to you. And a lot of these people, they car barely working. And some of them even catch a ride to get to church just to hear the word.
Oh, real talk.
You are living very lavish. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond more fruitful than what you should be living, right? Because if everybody, on the most part in your congregation, is on the level they need to be on, then you need to do something to help them get on that level. And I think that mentality, you know, when we break down that type of mentality on a basic level, we're not even realizing that you could take that as greed, right? I want all the money for myself. I don't care about nobody else. And that trickles down into our youth, our children, because now they got friends around them. And now it's like, I'm the man. Forget all y'all. Y'all want to be on? Y'all come to me and I'll feed y'all instead of me trying to show you how to get on the level like me or even be higher than me. That's why you have two different groups of friends. You have friends that will want to see success evenly throughout the group, or you have a friend that just wants to be the man in the group and everybody around him. The difference of the two is if I'm feeding you a fish versus me teaching you how to fish, the problem is that the ones that are the friends that are teaching you how to fish, when they go out to eat, guess what? All of them are trying to fight over who's going to pay the bill. You ever notice that? Whenever you out with friends, and you and your friends are some solid friends, y'all know that, right? Fellas, y'all know that. Yeah. You out, and you some solid dudes, and you out with a bunch of solid friends, and y'all boys making money together. You showing each other how to make money together. Yeah. When y'all go out to eat, y'all fighting over the bill. True. True. Right?
Often, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
No, yeah. I'm saying when you have friends that value you, y'all fighting over the bill. And I'm just saying fighting, you know, figuratively, not
I got
really
you.
Fighting over the bill.
You,
right?
It gets
but
to a
then
point
you go
where
to the other
you lose
side.
Track.
Exactly. You go to the other side of it, and this is what a lot of women hate. And it makes niggas look dusty. You got one guy over here who's telling you, I'm not teaching you how to fish. I want y'all to come and get the fish from me. So now you got this one dude in the club, he popping bottles. And guess what? He got 50 niggas around him that's broke as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You got some guys in the clique that might have a little bit of money, not as much as him, but there might be one or two other ones out of the 50 that is sponsoring the whole table. And guess what? The dusty niggas that don't have the money, guess what they doing? They pouring drinks for females they see. Oh, come over here, girl, I got it. Because see, they don't have the image or the money to go out there and get the status like the dude who's out there, the man, right? Yeah. So they gotta try to grab and figure out what they can and make themselves look like they all equal.
Right.
And then you got these women that sit back and don't know how to vet dudes out, and they just see bunch of bottles and they see niggas and they thinking, oh, everybody got money. And now you smashing that dude who's really the dusty dude, and you end up getting pregnant from him. And then you wonder why this nigga broke. He can't even afford a bunch of diapers. And this is, I know it sounds funny, but this is live scenarios because I used to be in the club and I used to see it.
Yeah, all the time. I was a promoter.
It's real.
Yeah, I used to see the dusty dudes impregnating some good-looking women because they got attracted to the limelight.
Yeah.
And got blinded and not did the vetting to see where the real money was coming from.
No doubt. And there's some chicks, man, real talk, every week, they best friends with the nigga with the bottle. Every week. It's a different dude. Whoever got the bottle, that's their best friend for that week. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other show about drink trolls and dudes tricking in the club, and it's a whole other topic. But I could go on all day calling these busters out and these raggedy females. You know what I'm saying? But all of that also comes from the influence of the media, not just social media, but media more broadly, the news, because even the news, they're reporting all this infotainment now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What's going on, Mona Lisa? How's everything? All right, good
What's
to
up,
have you in the
Queen?
house. What's
Yeah,
up? What's
good to
up?
see Mona Lisa in the house. That's what's
Yeah,
up, man.
shout out to our sister Mona Lisa. Good sister.
Shout out to good
But yeah,
sister, man.
you got all these people out here, you know, all the popping bottles, the Chris popping and all that, that comes from the Biggie era. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We were talking about that earlier. It comes from the Biggie era and then graduated, and with other rappers picking that up like Fab and all these type of cats or whatever. And it's like it just became this whole, buy you a woman type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's the environment. That also comes from the media, seeing all this shit on the rap videos. Why you think these women going out dying on these tables to get these BBLs? Because
Mm-hmm.
rappers in their songs talk about I'm in love with a stripper, and you know she thick and she got a badonka dunk. All they talk about is the oversized ass. You know what I'm saying? And the promotion of the promiscuous harlot. So these females go out and they try to emulate that persona, and then they'll turn right around and tell you, well, ain't no social media or ain't no media got no influence on me. It's just a song. Nah,
Exactly.
it ain't just a song. It ain't just entertainment. And that's why, low key, while we're on the topic of media influence on relationships, we can talk about a little bit about media influence on society more broadly. And, we'll put it out there. Some other groups, they don't play that shit. They're very careful about the way that you portray them in the media. The
Yeah.
Jews are that way. Asians are that way. They don't just let you portray them any old type of way. And I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
We should get that. We should
Yeah.
get game from them on that and check people
Correct.
when they portray us any old time, any old kind of way in the media. No
Yeah.
way we should have these videos out here, showing our sisters in this type of light and our brothers in this type of light. If you look at the average rap video to this day, you will think that all black people do is throw money in the club and twerk. That's all we do. Throw money in the club, get high, and twerk. That's it. And that type of constant portrayal of black folks in the media is intentional, number one. Number two, it's extraordinarily harmful because white supremacist society will take their powerful media apparatus and use it to magnify that image 1 trillion times over to make the world feel like, okay, this is how black people are. This is how these niggas are. So that when something happens to us, okay, well, it ain't no big deal. They can justify it. Yeah, we know that Zimmerman murdered Trayvon in cold blood, but he was just a nigga. Look how they behave. This is what they do. So we need to be very, very careful, and mindful of the images that we allow people to put out there about us, and last week we did a show on forgiveness. And that is one of the things that I feel we cannot forgive, from our own people and from our enemy. Once you do something that is a betrayal to black society, you ought to be persona non grata, period.
Mm.
I believe in cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't think cancel culture is powerful enough because that's how we used to do it back in the days. That's how I did it in ancient Africa. They would ostracize your ass. You did some fuck shit back in Africa, they ostracize your ass. Your own family wouldn't talk to you. They just wouldn't acknowledge you. You would cease to exist to everybody.
And
I'm just saying,
that's a good.
when we have our code of conduct more together and it's more refined, then we can start punishing people as we need to for the type of bullshit they do out here. Because, bruh, it's on another level now. I mean, I could barely read all the bullshit that was going on social media this week. Just so many people out here making a slap ass monkey of themselves, bruh. We ain't got no
Yes,
code.
they
Shameful.
don't.
I'm just saying. I let my plane there,
Shameful.
bruh. I could go on.
Oh no, no, no. Um, I think this is very important, right? I think we have men that hold men accountable,
Yes,
right? I
yes.
think I made a post. Not sure if I had. I don't think I saved it.
I know where you're going though, and I made that point this week too.
Oh, okay. Here it is. I think I got
Hmm.
it. Hold on. Do men give their friends
Hmm.
advice like, bro, she's a good girl. You better keep her. Just wondering. I think this was a girl who shared this, and I took it and I reposted. Right? It
Hmm.
says, do men hold their friends accountable? And when I tell you, there wasn't men coming on my posts saying, oh nah, you know what I'm saying, man, he do whatever he do, man. I just worry about myself and all this other nonsense. You had
Yeah,
guys that was saying, yes, I hold my dudes accountable. Yes, it's mandatory. That's a standard.
real talk.
See, the thing
That's
about
real.
it is when we look at society, and I know men get bashed so much, men get bashed and belittled so much for the nonsense out here, right?
Hmm.
But when you look at it, men hold themselves accountable and hold each other accountable way more than women do.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
that's not trying to take a slight at women. There are some
No.
women that do hold other women accountable and keep up the sisterhood. As you guys already know, Mila is one of them. Um, our good Queen Mona Lisa is one of them.
She's one
You
of
know what
them.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? So there's sisters out here that are holding other women accountable, but the mass majority don't. You know what I'm saying? It don't. And I used to have a frustrating issue with it because when I used to say, we got to go back to this whole village mentality because what
Yeah.
happens is like we having children out here being murdered, children being murdered by other children. And when you look at it, a lot of these women, it's their children that's running around being the gangsters, being the bullies,
Yeah.
robbing from their community, and even being bullies at school and picking on other children. They're a menace. And
Right.
I say to myself, I'm like, if you want to do something for the community, start with your own household.
Real
Don't be
talk.
out here marching up and down talking about we need to stop this and that, and your own children out here terrorizing the community. That
Hmm.
don't make sense. Then when
Right.
they point out your children, you want to defend them in their bad behavior. That don't make sense. Then when somebody else child get killed by one of your children, you defending your child.
Hmm.
Or if somebody else child get killed, you not sitting being sympathetic with that child. You sitting back saying, my children, at least my children is not dead. I'm good with that.
Right.
But then when somebody clap your child, you run around the community like, why the hell y'all ain't protect my children? This fucked up? We as black people can't get it together. But when somebody else's child got clapped, you was quiet because it wasn't
Exactly.
your child.
You remind me of that Dusty Digger who hit that lady at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
His family, his
Exactly.
dirt diver ass family. You understand what I'm saying?
And his instigating girlfriend.
Oh
And
God,
still,
his baby
and
mama,
still, yeah, his baby mama, and still double down on it after
A
he
despicable.
whole
got killed.
ecosystem.
That's how that's how corrupted and how much of our mind is so programmed by the influence that we are it's almost like an environmental disease
It is.
because I remember David Banner said it in a clip, right? It was a clip promo for Hidden Colors.
Yeah.
And in the clip, David Banner said, we're doing exactly what the white man did to us. We're mirroring everything that they did to us. When they were shooting and killing us down, we're going and doing the same thing to our own people.
Yeah. He ain't telling no lie.
That's programming.
Yeah.
You see
It
what I'm
is.
saying? And that's the destruction of how influential things, when you have something that's so influential, it could be very destructive.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's very negative, it can be very destructive. And we're seeing that. And like I tell people, there's a lot going on that y'all not even prepared for now. And this is why it was so important when I reached out to these brothers. I reached out to Bobby and Major, and I was like, yo, what's the topic this week? And off rip, the boys was like, let's do this.
Got
And
to.
it was very much needed, because when you listen to what we have to say tonight, you're going to understand how it's going to protect you in the future, because inflation is rising. I hope y'all take this in mind. And I'm giving y'all some good game ahead of time. A lot of times y'all don't listen to what I say because y'all don't like me and who I am as a person. But I've been telling y'all about the pandemic, and I've been telling y'all what to get before the pandemic hit. I've been telling y'all to stock up on water, you know what I'm saying, masks. I was telling y'all to get masks before the media was telling y'all to get masks. And the people that went out there and got the masks that was listening to me didn't have to go out there and go in a damn all-in-one brawl to go find it.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? I was telling people what to do, how to listen. You know what I'm saying? I was telling you guys, stop making, the media is making this guy the boogeyman. And when they do that, they get you blinded to really see that the people that you think is helping you is really damaging you more. And when I say that man's name, everybody get mad. And guess what? Everything coming out now. And now people start to see. Yeah. I had the choice to pick the lesser of two evils, and you did it. Because you don't listen. A lot of times you prevent stuff by doing research. But here's the thing. The dominant society don't give you time to do the research. That's why they give you longer hours, less pay, because they want to keep you away from any recreational time that you might turn into a positive.
True.
So when you guys got to understand that when we out here, there's people out here that have the extra time, like myself. I don't have children, so I could devote extra time to do the research. Some of y'all, I understand, y'all don't have that extra time. Y'all got 2, 3 kids, a job, 2 jobs, whatever the case may be, to make the ends meet and running the household. I get it. But you can take 2 hours out your time to listen to our podcast. 3 hours, it depends on how much game we give you. We try not to give you that much. But
an hour and a half, man. We trying to get down to an hour and a half.
At least we're giving you that much, so that way you can at least put the headphones on, and while you're doing work, you could be cleaning the house or on the treadmill or wherever you at work, maybe, depending on your job, where you can listen to great game and information that you don't have time to sit back and go research and do yourself.
No doubt.
So when I tell people out here, man, women, stop being afraid of this DeSantis law about grabbing your gun. Go out there and go get that gun. Get that training.
There you go.
Go get the license, because guess what? When the banks, y'all don't understand, these banks are going to close down. And they're going to close down probably for a month, 2 months, 3 months. We don't know. Right? But you're not going to have access to your money like that. I told you guys to go out there and go get a safe. Put a safe in your house. Don't tell nobody about a safe. Y'all love bragging. Don't tell nobody about no safe, because you could put $5 in there. You tell somebody you got a safe, they're going to kill your whole family to see what's in that safe. Don't tell nobody what you have in that safe, but put emergency money in that safe. So that way you have half in the bank, half in that safe. So if the bank do close down, at least you have money inside your house to, have as collateral, and you don't have to be depending on anybody else, because you already prepared ahead of the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand. I told people, I think this hurricane season down in Florida might be a bad one, because if we get a hurricane this time, remember, They were telling people in China that they have a second wave over there. So if they have a second wave over there that's going on right now that they say is affecting millions of workers, that's going to slow down the products from getting here because we depend on our enemy to supply us. So if the hurricane comes here and goes up the coast of Florida or even comes near it, it don't even have to hit. Just how they program and scare y'all, because they know if it's going to hit or not. But just the programming to let you know that a hurricane coming here, them people going to clean out that shelf. We already, if you look at the shelves now, the shelves are half empty. If they clean out them shelves, we don't know when they're going to restock them shelves back.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I've been telling y'all months ago, stock up, at least have 6 months of supply. What we're here telling you is to be prepared just in case, because guess what? The more you're prepared, the more you're going to not face the chaos. The less you face the chaos, the more safe you and your family are. And why am I bringing this up? Because media influence on relationships. This is a media influence on relationships because it's your household. How you govern your household. How the media fearmongers people to go out there and do things and leave you in the wind because nobody's giving you the valuable information to sit back and prepare yourself for what might come.
Real talk.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we got to understand that side of it. So when we look at all these things and we say to ourselves, why is it that it's so important for us to understand social media influence and how much it affects what we do on a daily basis? Is because when you look at men being held accountable and men are holding themselves accountable and women aren't holding themselves accountable, right? They go out there and they do things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So now you have an overage woman posting stuff like this, and it's not her first time doing it.
Right.
Right? So this is the type of image, and we talk about social media and the influence and how powerful it is. Once you put things on the internet, it can't come down. Because even if you took it down, there's a strong possibility one person out of the 5 billion in this world got it.
No doubt.
They had a
metadata.
Yeah, they had a movie called Shazam, and people didn't think Sinbad played in it. They scrapped it off the shelf because back in the days, that's what they used to do. They used to scrap movies off the shelf to hide it.
Yeah.
They scrapped it off the shelf, and everybody thought this man was lying. And guess what? It was a guy who had it, who posted it on social media.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So guess what? This picture is going to be in somebody's archive. Hell, it's in my archive.
Yeah. How about that?
And I'm only having it in my archive to show y'all the stuff that should not be shown to the world.
Yeah.
This is for your man. And then
it's
they
ridiculous.
wonder why women around this age is complaining about being single and how the agony of not having somebody, because y'all do so much and put so much out there that a lot of men, as much as y'all don't like to hear it, and as much as y'all think men are like that, men like women reserved.
Yes, they do.
They love women reserved. And let me tell you something. Women, y'all got to hold other women. This is your friend. Terry Ellis has friends. Sometimes you got to go to your friend and be like, hold on, ho.
Basically.
You got to
Real
stop
talk.
this.
It's time to stop. And see that when I posted, I've been going ham this week, bro, because like I said, it's been so much degenerate bullshit. Tracy Ellis Ross, I think, was probably the first one I posted too. It's just like, lady, you're 50 years old. Not that it would be right. Mona Lisa says we got to start at home. You damn right, sister. Not that if you were 18 or 19 that it would be okay. You understand what I'm saying? It would still be stupid and pointless. You understand? And this type of nonsense just goes to show, these people aren't ready for prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy Ellis Ross, what does this picture of you on Instagram with your titties do for the community? Fuck
Correct.
out of here. You look like an ass. You know what I'm saying? And this is
Straight
not
up.
something new, as Anthony pointed out. You always do this type of shit. So what is your hang up? What is wrong with you? There's something mentally wrong with people who think it's necessary to do things like this. Particularly when they're elders. You're at the point in your life where for a female, you're an elder. And we talk about younger women and how many of them are going astray and so forth all the time. But damn, this is who they have to look up to. This woman and this type of behavior and her
Who's
friends, her cohorts, the people that roll with her. Are you
hey
serious?
Major? Tell him who said that. God bless the dead.
Who said what?
Remember, what's the name was saying that?
Who? Dr. Wilson?
No. Kevin Samuels.
Oh God! Oh yes, man. Listen,
Well,
Kevin Samuels. It's so funny that God rested there. Kevin Samuels was brilliant. He was way ahead of his time, even for a lot of dudes. You still got a lot of dudes out here simping like hell. And there were a few things he was a little off on, but for the most part, Kevin Samuels was about 90% on point with what he was saying. And he used to talk all the time about women out here just not being feminine, and putting themselves in this space where the only type of men that they will attract is the low hanging fruit. And that's exactly what she's doing with that picture. What decent man of means, Tracy Ellis Ross, is trying to holler at you at 50 out here doing that type of stupid shit on the internet? Seriously.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Think about this. Do you think at all? You understand? Like, who
Yeah.
is really checking for you? Doing that
Exactly.
type of shit. What kind of example are you setting for the younger women? You
Exactly.
know, um, it's really disturbing to see this. And I said this in one of the comments when I posted about this. It's really weird and strange to me how many people we are seeing literally, and Tracy Ellis Ross, I believe, is one of them, literally crying out for help in the actions that they are taking. And people are applauding them for it and encouraging them to continue with the fuckery. That's not something that you do when you're well in here. You know what I'm saying? It's pointless, and a lot of women, even women that I kind of sort of respected at one point, I'm starting to look at kind of funny style now because they'll go and tell you this dumb shit about how that's somehow empowering. You understand what I'm saying? Walking around, showing your ass, flashing your pussy. That's empowering. That's women's empowerment, because we can do what we want to do and all that shit. And what if you're a guy and you get on the internet right now and you pull your dick out? Is that empowering? I'm just saying,
hold on,
think
hold on.
about that shit. Because
Oh,
that's what they tried to
yeah.
say when Amber Rose
That
goofy ass took that
that
picture
that
Real,
outside with her
real,
bush
real,
out.
real,
Oh, that
real
was
quick before we
empowering and
go.
whatever. If a man does it, is that also empowering? Or is it
yes,
just stupid and nasty?
transgender.
It's
Before we go too far, I don't want to let you get. I'm gonna let you cook.
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna let you
man.
cook. You got your chef hat, you got your apron on, you got your all your Lowry's and your seasonings and your adobo. I'm
What
gonna
you
let you
got?
cook. But
Okay.
real quick, I don't want what you said to get left behind there because that's a
Okay.
real big issue that we have, and we've had that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We as a people, because we lack the ability to critically think,
Mm-hmm.
because our minds are so caked with rot and mold and mildew and gunk, partly from all the garbage media and junk we take in and the lack of proper values and standards that we don't enforce and teach in our homes, a lot of us, just like you said, we don't have the ability to properly recognize cries for help. We see
Correct.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We see stuff that's the equivalent of people firing off a flare gun, a distress flare.
Yes.
We see smoke coming out the building, but because a lot of us are so jacked up in the head, because we had garbage upbringings, because we're in this very unhealthy mental state, we see this. We see the signs of the emergency, but we think it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
We don't recognize stuff for what it is, and we do this with adults. We do this with children. We'll see signs of abuse, and we'll ignore it or disregard it or think it's something else, or we'll go ahead and put it on the children instead of looking for the adults and stuff. We see
Yeah.
women out here behaving like they're in distress. There was a time when a 50-year-old woman like this, who was
Mm-hmm.
not now, if Tracy Ellis Ross was a prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
she was one of these chicks on the back alley in the red light district. No
Yeah.
one would say anything because we understand that's what comes with the territory. But
Right.
there was a time not too long ago either where if a woman Tracy Ellis Ross's age, who comes from the pedigree, at least as far as celebrity and fame, coming from that Diana Ross bloodline, with
Mm-hmm.
the career she's had so far, if a woman did that, it was a sign that she was having a mental breakdown. Something is wrong.
Real talk.
Because women who are accomplished, who aren't in poverty, who don't belong to the streets, women don't behave themselves in that fashion.
Right.
She'd have got Baker acted
Oh, easy.
because this is not how people behave themselves.
Yeah.
Real
Exactly.
talk.
Used to have
And
a thing for men and women called a midlife crisis. When's the last time you ever heard anybody use that term?
Mm.
And you have a grown ass adult who is much closer to death than they did to life. They're much closer on the latter end of their years than the early end of the years,
right.
behaving like a damn college student on spring break on some girls gone wild nonsense. That was
Right.
a cry for help. Something is wrong. You're having a breakdown.
This woman is insane.
Now it's women empowerment. You just get your insecure.
You
Why
just
you?
a hater.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
We have
Bruh.
lost our finger licking, syrup sipping, wood grain gripping minds.
Real talk, man.
We
Real
we
talk.
we are we out to lunch, man. No, but
And the
continue.
thing
I just
is,
need to drill down on that because that's super necessary right there.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's real talk. Listen, what was so crazy, man, back in the days, this used to come from the women. I'm gonna say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies who are listening, back in the days, this type of shit used to come from y'all. And I tell women all the time, yo, if you have a problem, because every time we criticize a woman, we hate women, and it's always some bullshit, right? So I'm like, okay, well, interesting you should say that, because if you were doing your job as women, we wouldn't have to say shit. Because back in the days, it used to be the women that would check other women like that. And I say this all the goddamn time, and no one ever wants to challenge me on it. The difference is we both have our flaws. Men have their flaws, women have their flaws. The difference is with men, you're going to get checked. Somebody going to check your ass. Somebody going to hold you accountable. Somebody going to step to you. Shannon Sharp, love him or hate him. I've had my, moments where, I'm looking at him a little funny style, but Shannon Sharp is good for calling somebody out when they're doing some bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen him do it a number of times. When Lil Wayne was out here talking that coon shit, T.I. checked Lil Wayne. Okay? Again, with Boyce Watkins, say what you want to say about him. Lil Wayne, a repeat offender. Lil Wayne is a coon. When Lil Wayne was on tour and he had that song talking about beating up some pussy like Emmett Till, Boyce Watkins and other men got at his sponsors and got his sponsors to withdraw their support, ending that nigga's tour. Who's doing that with women? When women do something offensive,
Mhm.
who's checking them like that?
And not only that, but Lil Wayne is even to this day is a major, popular, major male artist right now.
He is.
When is the last time that you heard about any group of black female celebrities or with the power rallying together to get a Meg The Stallion concert pulled because of something um off
You don't.
becoming that she said,
You
or a
don't.
Cardi B,
They don't
or any of
criticize
these
them
other
at
ones
all.
that's hot right now, Nicki Minaj?
Mm-hmm.
Nicki
And this is
Minaj out
why, even
here
with some of,
supporting her
Mhm.
pedophile significant other for the longest time.
Yeah,
I didn't see, but I've heard women talk about. I've never seen women band together to go ahead and get a Nicki Minaj concert shut down because
ever.
she out here caping for pedophiles.
They ain't doing that. They
It
ain't doing
actually,
that.
it
There is
actually,
no accountability on that side of the
If I'm
fence.
wrong, let me know.
no,
If I'm wrong, let me know.
it actually increased her Barbie.
It
Her
did.
Barbie, her Barbie hive is up there with the beehive.
Yeah. The Barb's
The,
lost it. You dig?
the
When
Barbs
people
are,
started criticizing that guy for what he actually did and the fact that, she's with him.
yeah,
That
the
actually
Barb,
increased her following. You know what I'm
it did,
saying?
it did.
Suki Hana's another one, out here
I got
twerking on a child.
I got a homeboy that's been on their neck about that same thing. Every time someone pops up, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with the demographic that refuses to acknowledge that a grown adult female twerking on an underage minor is a problem. And every time he
Mm,
brings, I've seen him drop that on several posts that have like triple digit comments on it, and
hmm
not once has anyone said anything to rebut that. They got nothing.
They got nothing.
Men are supposed to
So,
be the defenders of the women, the children, the community, but it's the women that are supposed to be the defenders of the values and the culture.
no doubt.
Exactly,
Well, that's all
exactly.
So,
selective. It's all,
It is.
so
when there's a
we like
man
to
that's
comment on,
attacking, when
yeah, we
there's a
like to
man that's
comment on men
attacking,
not doing their jobs, like, oh, well, women have to step up and do the job because there's no man around. Why aren't we talking about how, well, there's a lot of women not doing their jobs and men are now finding it upon themselves to go ahead and step in the gap, talking about men are addressing women and arguing with women. Where are the
they just
women to do
want you to be
this?
quiet, man, and not say nothing. I get that all the time.
Mhm.
Oh,
Exactly.
y'all ain't real men because y'all argue with women. Then they'll turn right around and tell you about how we're of equivalent intellectual capacity. Well, why is it that I'm somehow lesser if I'm sitting here arguing with you because you're a woman? They never
Exactly.
have an answer. You know what I'm saying? And I've had to stop taking people seriously that I once respected because of this.
Oh
If
yeah.
Exactly.
you are so biased that you can't see both sides of the argument, I can't talk to you about these issues because your opinion is useless. It's pointless. You don't have an opinion. You don't have a voice because your biases betray you. You know,
It's especially if they're
you have to
showing.
be very mindful about who you engage in such debates with because some people it's just a waste of time. At the end of the day, when you're debating with someone, you should be on equal footing. Whereas, either you're learning from them or you're gaining understanding, and vice
Correct.
versa. But
Correct.
if I'm teaching and you're just, spitting emotional psychobabble, I can't rock with you. Sister was just saying something in the comments that was very interesting. She was talking about how it's difficult for her to check women. Checking women is a bit challenging. I've been called a hoe. I've learned what a pick me was because I have been called that as well. That's what Sister Mona Lisa says.
That's
And
Yeah,
so
that
much for
is
we had
crazy.
sisterhood.
a we had a
The
show on
sisterhood.
we had a show on Pick Me, so we educated people on the Pick Me, and
Yeah.
it's very it's very bad that that word has become a very derogatory word. And like I said, if I was a woman and somebody called me a Pick Me, I probably would be fighting because I see that as the same energy as a guy calling me a F nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It's very degrading for you to call me a pick me because I'm telling you what I feel like is right and what I feel like has always been a standard in society when it comes to how women should conduct themselves.
Hmm.
And it's not a bad thing for me to agree with a man because y'all want to keep the gender war going. So if a guy says something and I agree with it, that doesn't automatically make me a pick me. That just means that the brother's saying something valuable and I agree with it.
And that's fine.
And
It
that's
should
cool.
be.
Mhm.
It
What
should be fine,
yes,
right?
it should be. Keyword should be. And the thing about
It
it is
should.
that, yes, it should be. And the thing about it is that, like earlier when I was telling Major about Kevin Samuels, one of the things he was saying that was so powerful was there aren't really women out there that's telling the elder women aren't telling the younger women how to conduct themselves. They're
Real
getting no
talk.
guidance. They're getting no guidance from the elders. So when I sit back and I show you guys Terry Ellis, and I show you the Janelle Monáe, and I show you the Taraji P's out here that's just acting real wild. And then that trickles down to the younger girls because younger girls love to look up to older women. But if they're not giving them no guidance and they're not showing them no real deal, then younger women are going to look up to their peers because there ain't no older women to look up to.
Real talk.
Remember, in our generation, they had the Debbie Allens.
Yes, they did.
They had the Felicia Rashads.
Mm-hmm.
They had what was the mama on Fresh Prince, the black woman?
Janet.
Vivian?
I forget her name.
Janet.
Vivian. Aunt Viv. Aunt
Yeah.
Viv. There we go.
Aunt Viv, right? The dark skin
Yeah.
Aunt Viv. I hate to say dark skin Aunt Viv, but the original Aunt Viv, right?
OG.
Like these were women that were so powerful, and they did not like promote no bullshit. They was women that were strong on their square, very feminine on the back end when it came to their men. You could not mess with their children, and they would not overpower their husband.
Real
They
talk.
worked on alliance and alignment that was so concrete. And it's the Al-Qubulan way of life, which is what Major was talking about, our code of conduct, which come from the Al-Qubulan, which was in unity. That's why you see the African statue with the man, the woman, and the child. And they're all in unity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we work together, man, woman, and child, that fort is so powerful. That's why there's no space in between anybody in that statue.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I don't think people even analyze that statue to realize how deep that statue is, you know, more than face value.
Right.
The symbolicness of it, what it really meant. And we have to do that fort back. Now, that statue don't exist in this current state because now you're seeing the woman and the child. Or you see the man by himself. Or it might be the man and the child and no woman. There's no unified structure.
Right.
And when you are divided, it's easy to conquer. And that's why we're getting our tails beat out of us much harder than our ancestors did. Because as much as we look like we're progressing, we're actually regressing. Because
Yes, we
we're
are.
not progressing at a unit, we're progressing as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And if one group of individuals rises, it's easy to knock down the next group, because when they knock down the next group, they're not worried about their next group because their group is on top.
Right.
So the dominant society is looking at us and saying they're picking a fight with each other. They're in the crab in the barrel mentality. Women are having higher education. Dominant society allows these women to come in to Fortune 500 companies because they might see a male with the same credentials as a threat. Because one thing about a black male, one thing about a black male, he's liked by everybody. He's liked by the white woman, by the black woman. He's liked by his counterpart, his homeboy, the black man, excuse me. And guess what? He's even sexually liked by the white man.
Yeah, that's crazy, but it's true. Shout out Adam 22. Well, yeah, go ahead, bro.
So basically, when you look at it like that, the black man enters, when a black man of stature enters a room, he automatically takes over that room.
Yeah.
His charisma, his style, his creativity, his knowledge. surpasses everybody in that room.
Real talk.
So if I'm a man of the opposite, and I'm not a black man, I'm gonna make sure I keep your ass up out of that
Of course.
circle. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna elevate your women, and not saying that they don't have the credentials, but I want you to understand the strategicness of it. I elevate your women. Your woman makes the money now.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this important? Because y'all gonna see how I tie it into the next subject.
Mm-hmm.
Your woman makes more money now. So if your woman is making 120K working in this Fortune 500 company, and you're making 50K, when she comes home, you're not gonna feel like the man. And I know people will sit back and say, well, nah, man, you know, shit, I don't care how much I make, boy, you know, I'm mad. It sounds good.
You full of shit. That's
In
real.
reality,
That's real. You full of shit.
That's not kicking it, buddy.
They full of shit.
In reality, in this time, in inflation, the way this world going, nah, buddy, it's not working like that. You can,
and
think
it
that in
always
your
rears
mind.
its ugly head because these
Exactly.
so-called boss chicks,
it's gonna
all the time. There's always a moment. I'm talking about the ones in the industry and the ones that you and I see on Facebook.
It's always
never
going
fails.
to come
They
back.
always disrespect that nigga who's making less money than them. Always, always, always. They go out of their way to do it and don't even realize that they're doing it. We know some people personally. Like, did this bitch just post this? I know she didn't just post this. Yeah, bruh. You know, and they'll go and they'll act like, you know, it never happened, and you know, they're just this, you know, this sweet Polly purebred and butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. And it's like, bruh, some of us really pay attention. We see the slick ass shit you do. I see Bobby laughing his ass off because he knows some of the people I'm talking about. But bruh, they fake as a goddamn $3 bill, bruh. Come on now.
Let me tell you.
You got this broke ass nigga at home and you acting like like it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying?
You know
and that hurt manifests
the
itself when you say and do some of the fuck shit you say and do.
The truth is, I don't blame women that feel that way. I don't, because the truth is, it doesn't feel natural. It is hard to do that. Okay, it's difficult. This is a biological thing. I saw somebody say the other day, and I thought it was really profound. Pressure is for shoulders, not for hips.
Real talk.
Pressure is for shoulders, not for hips.
Yes.
It's difficult to be in that position because while we talk about the duties of a man being primarily protection and provision for the family, while provision isn't limited to finance, and if you think that provision is only about finances, then you're leaving your family drastically uncovered. At the same time, finances are part of that. Because it's not just about earning money, but it's about what money does. Money is what's used to keep a roof over your head. It's used to keep clothing on your back. It's what allows you to be able to travel from A to Z. Money is what you use to be able to afford other means of protection, getting good education for your children, acquiring weapons, security to protect your house.
Resources.
Money is a tool. So in other words, provision is about who's able to acquire tools. So I get that. It's difficult to be in a position where you're the person that's primarily supposed to be protected and provided for, and you're the person that's primarily in that position. And it's difficult on the men too who feel that they're not at that level. So it's a double-edged sword in that regard. I get that. I don't knock him for that. But at the same time, you got to know that and understand that, and you have to operate and move accordingly. If you know that this is a thing, this is your situation, you owe it to yourself and to your significant other to put in the work where you're able to work past that, or let them go.
No doubt.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why are you subjecting? Why are you keeping yourself in a garbage situation, putting yourself in a place where you got to suffer, they got to suffer, just for optics? Why?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's where the soft girl era comes from, because you know, after a while,
that's a joke.
The shit gets heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you can go on this independent rant all you want, but it gets heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna play this video real quick just to show you what I'm talking about. All right.
Are men
Yeah.
unattracted to independent women?
No. It's just mad annoying when you make being independent your entire personality. Because those independent women are just average adults. Oh, you make your own money? Cook your own food? You do your own laundry? Wow, you're the average adult man. Like, you don't see a bunch of men going around saying, we're such independent men. How cringy would that be? So yeah,
Right.
have fun listening to Cardi B or Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift or whatever. That's tough.
I
Bingo.
love it.
And the
You
funny
know what I
thing
love
is,
too?
if you listen to that, if
Mhm.
you think about that, the qualifications that make you this bad boss chick,
Mm-hmm.
that line is so it's about the height of a toothpick off the ground.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how low the bar is for you to be this big bad chick, whatever. But to be a
Uh-huh.
man, it's so much higher up on the food chain. It's so much more work that you gotta do to
You
get
make your
past
own
that.
money. Wow. Big deal. You're an adult. You're supposed to. You
And
dig?
maybe that would be a solid argument if the law had just passed for women to be able to work the way men do. It's 2023.
Bruh. It's been a long time.
Even if whether and there's debates about it now, even if you want to suggest that there's still a pay and wage gap,
Mm.
Yeah.
the amount that you're still able to produce as a woman on average. Come on,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can live off
let's
of
stop this.
Listen,
Exactly.
this is their claim to fame. And there's this echo chamber of knuckleheads that just keeps repeating the same bullshit, regurgitating the same talking points, and they never actually think through what they're saying.
Ebony
I make
Williams.
my own money. I bought my own car, shoes on my feet. I bought it, all that, right? You got to understand, at some point, somebody's going to pull your card. I've been saying this for a while. I said that when we were on 945 Live. I said that. And I talked about, you remember, Anthony, you were on that show with me when I talked about the attitude that comes along with the independent, because women think, that men are intimidated by their independence and their ability to do these things for themselves. And as White Chocolate there so articulately stated, nah, bruh, it ain't that we're intimidated by nothing. We just don't like the attitude that comes with that bullshit, because you think that you've done something astronomical simply because you can pay your own rent and you can pay the car note on your 2017 Hyundai. It's like, bruh, yeah, I'm just saying. And I'm not knocking people with 2017 Hyundai. That's just a common car that a lot of women drive. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that is what is the norm. That is what is expected. When, women were allowed to enter the workplace, that's what you were then expected to do. If you're going to call yourself equal, I hate this conditional equality bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to be equal or your ass ain't going to be equal. You understand what I'm saying? Equal means equal. Women love to say this shit. I don't have a problem with women being equal, but do what equal does. Yes, we're equal, but you still have to pursue me. You still have to ask me on dates. You still have to ask for my hand in marriage. You still have to plan dates. You still have to protect me. You still have to provide for me. You still have to. That don't sound like equality to me. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, a lot of women have a problem with the word submission, and the concept of submission. And they have a problem with submission because they feel like they're supposed to be on the same level as you, while they simultaneously tell you every day that they expect you to be on another level from them. Make it make sense.
True.
You understand? Make it make sense. This does not make logical sense. You understand? If you are requiring that someone provide your daily bread for you, or at least accept the brunt of most of the bills of the household, you are requiring that someone protect you. You are requiring that someone advise you and make decisions when things go left and saying, hey, ultimately the buck stops with you, buddy.
Yeah.
With much power comes much responsibility. You can't be talking out of both sides of your mouth. It just don't work that way. So
Exactly.
I think that a lot of these sisters would be well suited to have these arguments with themselves before they try to come and have it with us. You know what I'm saying? Because they really end up talking in circles when you examine what the fuck they saying. It don't make no goddamn sense. You understand? And so that's where we are right now. And a lot of that, to tie this back into the topic, comes from them watching this brain rot on TV, on the internet, in movies. My God, Tyler Perry's movies, Lena Waithe's movies, Lee Daniels' movies. If these
In the rare
people are the
cases,
best
books,
that we have to
those that still
offer in
read.
terms of telling black stories, we might as well just let the white people keep writing our shit. I said it. See me. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're not talking about much progressive for black people. That's just the long and short of it. Ava DuVernay, add her to that list. What are these people talking about? You see some of the toxic shit that comes out in some of their programming?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This people get these boneheaded ideas because of the constant media cycle that they see when these type of things keep popping off. What about what happened with the girl who threw the phone at the boy last week? JT or whatever her name is. She threw the phone at the boy, hit him with the phone, assaulted this boy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? A bunch of females came out caping for her.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay,
Yep.
exactly. So last week, when JT threw the phone, that's all she did. I would have did way more than throw the phone because a woman felt disrespected. So it's okay to act out. This week, when a man felt disrespected, she was just having fun. The man is insecure. It's like you got to get your brain out your ass at some point. You
So
understand what I'm saying?
the
And you got to start
defenses
making
were
sense when you talk.
so the
You know,
defenses were in this case with Kiki that well, number one, she's not married,
right?
so if he wanted to have that kind of say so, he should have put a ring on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, JT and them ain't married, but it's cool to
Right,
be throwing phones. Okay. Then
right.
it was, well, if he felt disrespected, he should have addressed it in private.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Throwing phones and hitting people in the face in an award show setting is about as public as it gets. I mean,
About
this
as
happened at
public
a
as it
concert, this happened
gets.
at an award show.
Mm-hmm.
At a concert, you're gonna have to rely on people video recording with their phones, whatever, for you to catch wind of it. At an award show, the actual legitimate cameras are out. This is
Right,
probably an international event going on, so the whole
right.
world sees this. No need to
Mm-hmm.
go viral. It's on TV.
But that
But
was okay.
again, the goalpost, man, them wheels got to be getting swapped out like NASCAR, man.
This is why
Burning rubber.
people need to be mindful of what they say, and what they're supporting. You can tell a lot about people by the type of shit they support. You
Yes.
have any number of women out here just talking stupid, flapping their dick suckers, talking about how this girl is, what she did was cool, and just reaching. They about to break their damn arm, reaching, trying to, explain why what JT did was okay. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like you wonder why you're all single. You wonder why 1 in 4 of you will ever marry. That's a very real statistic. You
Why
understand
the
what I'm
men that
saying?
you don't
Because
want, why you're repulsed by, are the ones that are coming towards you. The ones
real
you actually
talk.
want don't know you exist.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, seriously? Like you said, the men who are solid guys, they're repulsed by you. You understand what I'm saying? Because of your mentality. I mean, it's sick. The level
And I
of
look at
misandry
these
that's allowed out here.
I look at these situations, and one of the things that I do is I look at the dudes that actually go ahead and get their best Derek Waxon on and co-sign and back these women on these things where the women are wrong.
Mm.
Not where there aren't issues where it can go either way or where it's stuff that's it's flagrant and men supporting. I'm looking at the dudes that are out here putting a battery in women's backs when women that are supporting the issue are clearly in the wrong.
Right.
And I look at them, and I'm being and just from an unbiased standpoint, I'm looking at them because I'm a man. I'm a man that for the most part understands and knows women. I'm not new to women or dating, whatever. I know the things that men do to attract women. I know the things that women are interested in that attract women. So I know an idea of what the typical man is that looks like that's got something that can pull women.
Yeah.
So I look at these average dudes, and I'm looking at them, and most of these dudes are dusty as hell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Facially, on a physical attraction level, they're jacked up. Most of these dudes have man titties, not man boobs, man titties.
Double D.
They got world of beer size guts. They got barrels, and not even the dad bod level.
The
Most of these
kegs.
dudes, they teeth jacked up like someone's been plinking on their teeth, on their gums. They got several kids, probably from multiple women.
Real
And the
talk.
dudes that look halfway decent, I know they either on the down low or they on their best Derek Waxon. They got somebody at home. They're trying to line up their next action for the next weekend. The dudes that ain't sincere. These are the dudes that are gonna get you in trouble, or the ones that you don't want to be with in the first place. You're repulsed by. If they came up to you at the grocery store or wherever and tried to talk to you, I can see the look on your face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real talk. Real
So
talk.
again, the dudes that are in alignment with this or willing to at least demean themselves and go along with it for whatever reason, those are not the joys you're looking for, love.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're
Mona
not
Lisa.
saying anything, the
Mm-hmm.
dudes that you're actually interested in, they know good and damn well couldn't be me. Most of those dudes, they wouldn't entertain women to begin with that thought like that. So you wouldn't even get through the door.
Real talk.
And the
Real
ones that
talk.
make that mistake, they go course correct real quick. Trust me. Speaking of a door, it's gonna be a revolving one because as soon as they find out, oh, you let one slip in, you're gonna be escorted right back out. Won't even have time to put your
Exactly.
things down.
How about that?
I did want to show. I think it's this. So this guy made a great point. One of my Facebook friends said, "So a man has to place a ring on a woman's finger to have an opinion about the clothing she wears, but doesn't have to have a ring to get her pregnant." I can't call it.
That's almost exactly like what I posted.
And I cropped Mona Lisa's comment on here because, like I said, sister's been out here riding for our community.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And she says, crazy. Let them stay single. It apparent they don't want to be. You feel me? And I think what people don't understand, and it's very critical, is that men, and this is very important for men. I want y'all to listen to this. Kiki never really wanted this dude long term.
Agreed.
Right?
That's the body language.
And I'm going to tell you why she never wanted this dude long term. She was so masculine in her masculine energy, in her independently masculine ways. She started out as a child star. She's still out here making movies. She's still out here, getting paid to do stuff. She's on Good Morning America. Everything like that. Everything is going in her favor. She doesn't have to worry about money. What she always wanted was a pretty boy. She wanted a pretty boy. And the reason why she wanted a pretty boy is because she wanted a pretty baby.
Say it. Speak.
She wanted the baby. She did not want the man.
Speak.
You've heard this before.
So when people talk about how, she wants a man that financially on her level and all that, and I've seen it cracking jokes on this dude for being broke. Let me show you something. I want you guys to pay attention to this video because this video speaks volumes.
It does.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pay attention to this.
There's a liars, rich or poor. Right here. You just have to find who's for you. And, you know, that's just it because I'm telling you, billionaires, they have just as much baggage as the rest of them. Honey, trust me. Trust me.
Why are you clapping for this ignorant mess right here?
It's true. It's true. It's true. Don't be mad, Steve.
Who I try to tell you to get with, you don't want to hear me. Now all of a sudden he ain't pretty enough. I done told you about these pretty ass.
No, the
boys.
one you were trying to get me with was pretty, and I seen
No,
him.
he wasn't pretty.
I seen him on the gram with some other celebrity chick.
So I want you, I hope you guys paid attention to what it's very important to pay attention to body language. Whenever you hear Kiki talk, she always got this, this girl, oh, you can't tell me nothing attitude. That's her body language. Oh,
she's annoying as fuck, yeah.
You can't tell her nothing.
You can't.
Now, I'm not a person who's very big on Steve Harvey. I'm not big on Steve Harvey like that. But I will use Steve Harvey in this situation because it's proven to come true. And remember, a broken clock is right twice a day.
That was his broken clock moment.
Yep.
Because he's full of shit. But yeah, he was right this time.
He told you straight up, you keep wanting these pretty boys. I told you what's up with these pretty boys.
Mm-hmm.
So when you seen what she said and she tries to downplay the million and billionaires by saying, oh, they got baggages and they got all that. Let me tell you something. Whatever their problem is, they got money to take care of them problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it like they don't have problems, but what she is trying to allude to, she's trying to downplay is that the billionaires and all that got problems, but the real agenda and the real thing behind it is
knock it out the park.
They're not going to let her run around and be masculine.
There you go. There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
So
and it's another hit, woman, Barry Bonds.
When you got a lot of these women out here that tell you that they can't find a man on their level and all that, don't believe all those women, because most of those women that have that masculine energy that's making that money, they want beta males so they can control them.
Yep.
Or they can't say shit to them because they're the breadwinner.
Exactly.
And a lot of women put themselves in that predicament. You know why? It's a powerful move for those women as far as image-wise. Because you know why? When you have a situation like Kiki, and now he sits back and he says something that every man would say to their wife.
Right.
You're a mother. Now you get to say, see, this why you can't date no broke nigga, because he emotional. Now he don't know how to stay in this place. Bitch, she can buy you. And now she got enough money. She paying all the bills. You should even allow her to cheat. This is the dialogue I'm hearing.
Pull rank.
That's the dysfunction. That's it.
So now they agreeing with this guy's statue because they're like, okay, that's what broke niggas do. Be home and act like bitches. And then you got a lot of these dudes out here co-signing that. And let me tell you something.
I was so disappointed. Some of my homeboys. I thought you was stronger than that. You sound like you sound like less than an alpha. Let's say that. Some of my homeboys.
You're like so kind hearted.
So
I had the whole back on some of them, bro.
No.
You a generous man.
I'm gonna let you finish that real quick because I'm definitely going. This ties into what you, and I'm gonna let you cook off of this.
Okay,
right?
Go.
So
you know I'm gonna go right now.
So listen, a lot of guys out there are co-signing this stuff. Now here's the thing: whether you co-signing or you not co-signing, make sure you a nigga of caliber. Make sure you a man of caliber, whether you co-signing or not co-signing. If you say something in either direction, make sure you are a man of caliber. Because guess what? This what this one dude did, and it didn't go out good for him. So this dude named Cadric, whatever his name is, said, ain't no way in the world going crazy over this basic ass girl. She really not cute in real life. And he just put up all these pictures, you know, trying to prove his point. Let me tell you something, fellas.
If you want to smoke, make sure you the chimney.
Exactly. I'm bringing this dude up because when I tell you, these women went in on this dude so bad. And guess what? I have to agree with these women. Because let me tell you something. One of these women pulled this nigga picture up.
Whoa. What is that?
They pulled his picture up. Man, they were getting on his hands, his nails. Then you smoking a little beady. Like you doing low energy shit. You got your dreads and everything that don't even look neat. And you got a nerve to say something.
That's bad.
I'm surprised they didn't find no pics of him with the really basic chicks. That's the first thing they usually look for.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Bad.
I was trying to hide his identity because I could really put his real pictures up and have this thing fired up. But y'all got his name already. Y'all go do your own research. But I was just letting you know that you gotta be a person that's out here that you are living exactly how you say you are.
Real talk. Real talk. I'm right there with you, man. Listen.
When you talk about high grade and stuff like that, you talk about excellence or whatever the case may be, you ain't got to be perfect on it, but at least be on the damn path of it.
Right.
I'll go ahead and let you cook. Go ahead and cook, man.
No, you told the absolute truth. And let me tell you, man, I've been on some of those threads, and there are cats, you know, who I've seen women do that type of stuff too. And me being the man I am, you know, because some of those cats, they down with us, you know what I'm saying? And I just break out the heavy artillery and I just start slicing and dicing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna come for my brother like that. You know what I'm saying? Because what they fail to do is realize there might be a fly nigga in the room, and that shit ain't gonna fly. You dig? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get them together sometimes, and like, hey, look here, little mama. You know what I'm saying? You got some dirty toenails too. Goddamn it! Like you know, you listen, man. It can get ugly. You feel me?
Yes.
But I'd like to take that point and I'd like to make a broader point about deflection.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, one, you don't know this person. You don't know Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer don't know you. If somebody says some shit about you, she ain't coming to your defense. You understand what I'm saying? So why you out here acting like this is a personal relative of yours and you offended? Shut your stupid ass up. You know what I'm saying? And above and beyond that, we're not discussing me. We're not discussing me. I'm not the asshole who put my business out there.
Yeah.
She is. You understand? Or decided to go out there behaving in this manner where somebody is going to have something to say about the way she looks. Because let's just keep it a buck. At the end of the day, this is just a pathetic cry for attention.
Yeah.
Nothing more. You understand what I'm saying? She just wants attention. She wants to feel relevant. She wants to feel like she's somebody important. When was the last time she had anything of consequence that we gave a damn about because she was in it? I went to see Nope because of Jordan Peele. I didn't give a flying fuck that she was in it. You understand what I'm saying? So let's just keep it a buck. Nobody's really checking for her like that. You understand? And, you know, she went and had this child with this guy who's less than reputable. You know, I'm not going to go in on the dude like that or whatever the case may be. But, you know, she's kind of probably mad at herself a little bit. You know what I mean? Because Keke was out there and single, you know, when other guys of means were single. Like Steve Harvey said, she could have got her a very high value man, a reputable guy, a decent guy. But like you just pointed out, that was probably a bit too much for her. You understand where I'm coming from? Because that person was going to check her ass at the door. You dig? Certain shit you ain't going to do here. There's certain ways you ain't going to behave here.
Yeah.
A Russell Wilson level simp is rare. You understand?
Yeah.
That don't normally work like that. You get it? And so like she was looking, for that type of cat, but she came across what she came across.
She had to get him where she could find him.
Huh?
She had to get him where she could find him.
She had to get him where she could find him. She got what she qualified for.
Exactly.
Which wasn't very much. You understand? Exactly. And now this blew up in her face. Yeah, she got Hood Rat Nation behind her, 1 trillion. But it's a lot of decent sisters pushing back. Like, this what you on? And the brothers are just savaging her. You understand what I'm saying? Like, her male fan base is depleted significantly behind this because you just don't do shit like that. Yeah. You understand? And this guy, to his credit, people saying what they say about him. But I respect the fact that, he at least on some level stood up for himself. Now, I don't respect the fact that he took his Twitter down. I don't respect that at all. If you gonna say some shit, you stand behind it. That's man law number 1. Think about what you say, calculate it, come with it. And when you say it, I said what I said. What's the problem? And you stand behind it. He could have used this as a platform to bring some more notoriety to himself.
Yeah.
You understand? Really, at the end of the day, a lot of women do that. They say some stupid shit and they, use it as something that propels them forward. Look what Birdman did. Look at what Young Miami did with that flued out shit. Nobody knew who the hell she was until she really said that. I'm saying, and that's what got people talking about and listening to her.
Yeah.
You understand? Birdman made a t-shirt off that Respect on My Name shit. So in this weird climate we exist in, you can kind of take something, you do some goofy shit, and you can flip it and make it work to your favor. So, bro, if you listen, you might want to fire that Twitter back up and put your pimp boots on, nigga. Get out here and let it be known what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because you looking real soft right now.
And I believe that saying goes. Go ahead.
No, I was saying he was supposed to capitalize because now she got a sweatshirt that say "You're a mother." She took his saying and now she making buku money off of.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Mr. Bag,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's true or not because I don't speak the language or read it, but supposedly the Japanese kanji, the symbol for chaos, is also the same symbol for the word opportunity.
In
the midst of chaos is opportunity, and I've heard the saying before also. Never let a good crisis go to waste. So
Real
you out here catching these left and rights. Do that, like you said. Do that, man. Stand in the paint. I saw the other day. Saw last night at the UFC 290 fight. There's they had who's it? The middleweight champ, I believe. No, the lightweight champ, I believe. Israel Adesanya, whatever belt, whatever weight class is in. Israel Adesanya was posted up there, and then he ended up having a face off with this dude that just ended up becoming the next contender for his belt. Yeah. And he had this big old black shirt on with white letters. He's currently in the midst of an issue with his girlfriend over there in New Zealand, where I guess they've been together about 5 or 6 years, whatever. And she's breaking up, and now she's trying to sue him to get his results on the basis of them being common law married or something over there, like whatever. And he's been sounding off, calling her a gold digger, this gold digger that. You didn't do nothing to deserve this. And he's gotten a lot of support. He's gotten some criticism, but he's got a lot of support. Man was sitting there cage side right there and ended up being inside the octagon. Had a big old shirt saying, "He is not your bank."
That's what I'm talking about.
And as soon as I peeped, they're like, you know what? Standing ovation.
Applause.
Talk your shit, young man. Talk your shit. But that's what you're supposed to do. Flip this. Use it to double down on your position. To market yourself. If you don't have something going on, you need to come up with something to make it pop off like this. Because this is promotion that you can't get naturally. It's hard to kind of go organically viral like this.
Real talk.
Shot of killing somebody. It used to be sex tapes back in the day, but now you got this popping off organically. Man, go
Do
one of
it.
your homeboy down to the flea market. Go get them t-shirts made.
Pull
Go
the
get
trigger.
your little whatever. Do something, man.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you're in the right. See, a lot of these people out here that I don't respect anymore, they got to find out what gender somebody is and what political persuasion they have or whatever before they choose a side. I don't give a shit about none of that. Who's right? Who's wrong? The man was in the right. He was perfectly within his right to say what he said. And I like the way that he said it. You're a mom now. So he wasn't even talking about, what's going on between the two of them. He probably knows she ain't shit. So it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to work that angle. But damn, can you please not embarrass our son like this? You understand what I'm saying? And he has a point. And that goes out to a lot of these other women out here that do any and everything and get in front of a camera somewhere and coon it up just so that they can get a little bit of attention. You understand what I'm saying? You look like an asshole. I call it narcissistic asshole complex. You understand? You look like a whole ass out here making a fool of yourself and embarrassing your family. That's sad. And to follow up on Miss Kiki, she then made a post talking about how she don't believe in girlfriend and boyfriend and she's single till she's married. And I made a post similar to the one that you just put up, and talking about, funny, this is the same attitude that's going to guarantee that she never gets married to anyone of consequence and will continue to attract men like the one she has. She doesn't believe in boyfriend and girlfriend, but does believe in pushing out a man's baby with no commitment.
Yep.
How you even sound?
Exactly.
How you even sound? Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, I get it. Childhood out of wedlock, it happens sometimes, but can we just all agree we've gotten to epidemic proportions at this point, and this is not something that we should be allowing or moving towards and striving to do as a community?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Let me say something on that real quick, and I've spoken about this elsewhere before. This is probably the first time introducing this thought on here. I've said for a while now that for the longest time, it's been the fate of many women who know, either consciously or unconsciously, that they're not wife material, that they're not built for anybody to actually settle down with them and actually build a life for them. They're just destined to be single the rest of their life and then just either do the whole girlfriends thing where you get like a group of women and y'all just BFFs with each other, or whatever, or just to die alone, or like Kevin Samuels would say, die alone, get a dog,
Right.
get some plants, whatever. I've said for a while now that more and more we are seeing women that are out here using their children as surrogates for these dogs and these plants. Now, they know good and damn well that they don't qualify for a quality mate. And for whatever reason, it's beneath them in their minds to go ahead and actually get with someone that's on their actual level, not the level they have in their minds, but the level they actually are at. So what they're doing now is they go ahead and leasing their coochie out to get not them to intentionally become single mothers.
Yeah.
So that way they can go ahead and have children who will never leave them.
Right. Right. Say
when you hear a lot of these mothers talk about being have their children wherever, the relationship sounds very cringy.
Creepy.
It reeks of attachment issues.
Real
Oh,
talk.
my child will love me unconditionally, or my child will never leave me. My child will never do this, that, and the
He's
third.
my king.
The son husband.
It's fucking weird.
Creating the Oedipus Jocasta complex, or their daughters doing the same thing, trying to go ahead and put all this undue burden for companionship, whatever, on their children.
Right.
That's the new wave that a lot of women are on now, and they'll never admit to it publicly. Some will,
of course not,
but most will never do it publicly. But they do this
all the time,
and so that's why you see. So when you say things like, "Oh, a man can't make any criticism of what you wear, but he can go ahead and knock you up," for a lot of those women, even if they don't understand why, that doesn't phase or move them. That will phase a woman that came from a traditional background with those values implanted on her, with the importance of marriage, the significance of that, the onus of developing that nuclear family. That will affect them. But to a chick who's out here just trying to get knocked up so that way she has someone that looks on her ass at least every Christmas or Thanksgiving, to send
Real
her a
talk.
Mother's Day card to check on her, whatever, to make sure that she's still alive and not dead yet. That
Mhm.
doesn't move her because she's already getting what she wants. If you don't speak to the motivation of people, you can't move nobody.
Real talk.
So for us, this is crazy. This is nonsense. But for them, it's all part of the plan. I know I don't qualify for a man. I just need one stupid idiot to go ahead and knock me up. I'm never gonna let him get custody. I'm never gonna let him see his child. I'm gonna put all kind of poison and gunk to go ahead and try and ruin that relationship between my child and the father. I got my kids, so I've got someone that I can go ahead and make responsible for my companionship in life.
Bobby, you hit that one out the park, bro. I'd like to applaud you for that because that shit right there, that was the alley oop right there, boy. Like
No,
I set it up and you just came with the hammer and just rained down thunder, bruh.
that's where we
Let
at,
that
bro.
man cook. What? You
Let him
understand? Because that's exactly what they're doing. That's the game. I had a chick tell me that back in the day. It was insane. I've been wanting to talk. I've been wanting to get with this chick for the longest time, bro. You dig? And she told me, you know, her and I, one of them chicks, I'm sure y'all had her back in the day, right? Used to talk to her all the time, you know, but she just wouldn't let you nowhere near her, right? Like you'd be on the phone with her till 2, 3 in the morning. It's like, damn, I've then had 10, 2, 3 in the morning conversations with your ass. Will you know, let that wall down a little bit, right? This is back before I became who I am today, right? You dig? But this is what happened. And she told me the damnedest thing. I learned more about women in that one conversation than I think I've learned in the 10 years surrounding that conversation. She said, yo, she said, she said, I'm out here dating guys and it's just not going nowhere. It's getting crazy. Mind you, I'm trying to date this girl the whole time. She's like,
distance management, boy.
This next effort, right? If this next effort don't work, I'm just gonna go ahead and start looking for a baby daddy. It's like, bruh. I mean, never mind. I've been trying to go with you for the last, 5, 6 years, whatever. I'm talking to you regularly. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the lines of communication open, listening to your little bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When you need somebody to shoulder to cry and all that shit. I'm low key halfway simping. You understand what I'm saying? And you just gonna tell me some shit like that? Wow. I wasn't even in the conversation. Like, if this don't work with this dude, the new dude, I'm gonna just start looking for a baby daddy. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And I've always been a solid dude. I figured, damn, if we keep talking like this, she clearly likes something about me, right? Nah, bro. Sometimes women just do that shit for their own ego. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
String your ass along, have you looking stupid because it makes them feel good. Fuck that.
Absolutely.
You understand? You got to value you.
That's those chicks that be out here bragging about, I've been proposed to X amount of times. I turned down from that. That's them chicks.
And you still ain't married. Sounding like a damn fool. And I thought until that point, I thought this is such a decent together, sister who, she's intelligent, she's pretty, she's this, she's that. And then right there, I'm like, you know what? You just another dumbass bird. You know what I'm saying? Not because she rejected me. Not because she rejected me, because it's okay to reject people. You don't have to like me. But the fact that, you just stringing me along or whatever the case may be, and you're just allowing this whole dog and pony show, knowing that I am waiting for, this situation to see how it pans out so I could really take my shot. Because before that, I was with somebody. So I really couldn't jib with her like that. But it's like, okay, I broke up with that person. Now I'm here again. Let's see if this goes somewhere this time, right? And like, she just straight up just overlooked my ass. I'm like, whoa, okay. But that's, fellas, you got to be honest with yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And when a woman tells you some shit like that, you gotta just pick it up and accept it for the game that it is. You know what I'm saying? She gave me some good game. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. She gave me some good game. I learned a lot from it. Rick Roots, what's going on, bruh? That's my guy right there. He says facts to something that we said. Then he said, "Oh, the women bash the child's fathers throughout their whole life." Yeah, that's real
Oh
talk.
yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? Like, you
so
had a baby from this guy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? At the end of the day, yeah, you go ahead, you bash him, whatever the case, because that same girl, right now, she's in her 40s, right? And like, you know what happens with a woman once they hit 35 or better, it slows down, not to say that you can't necessarily catch, but
Mm-hmm.
it becomes more difficult to catch when you're a woman as you get older. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I mean, I met my wife. We're happy. We're great. Whatever, whatever. But guess who hit me up right before, trying to have
Never
some conversation
fails.
now. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Never
now
fails.
that all your
And
options are
I'm
run
convinced it's
dry,
like I'm convinced it's like like some kind of like a switch or something that gets implanted. Because I promise,
yeah,
you ain't never as popping as you are right when you get in a relationship. Boy, it's like, damn, y'all got like some spies or some kind of tracking
bruh,
device because they come out the bushes.
they start coming out the trees when I met my wife because we've been together for 3 years before we got married. You dig? And I swear, like when we first started dating, I
Hmm.
hadn't put no pictures or nothing up of her. We were just dating. In fact, she's the first woman I ever put on social media. I've never done that before,
Yeah.
right? And so chicks would still hit me up like literally every week for the first couple months. You know what I'm saying? I'm just turning chicks down left and right. Turning chicks down left and right. It's like, bro, it must be a switch. It must be.
It's
But
something in
Yeah.
the ozone layer. Or something I don't know, bro. It's weird.
brothers, don't do it. Let me put it out there. Don't do it because
So I
it's real easy to fall off, and get that chick that you always wanted back in middle school, who's still fine or whatever the case may be, and she finally, when she see you happy and you ready to do something,
Hmm.
oh, she want to be buddy buddy now. Fuck
Don't
her.
be
Mhm.
a basic
Keep it
nigga.
moving. Nah,
That's
Yeah.
it.
bro. You
First
don't
off,
do
that's
that.
the energy vampire. The fact that she wasn't feeling you when you were looking for her, but now that you're happy, she coming. That's the energy vampire. She don't want you. She wants your joy,
That's
and she
it.
will
It's
drain that
also
nonsense.
That's it.
it's
And that's
it's
what's not
also
cool about it. Like I said, you ain't got to like nobody. Nobody ever had to like me, right? But what I don't appreciate is a motherfucker wasting my time and leading me on like it was something, you know what I'm saying? When they know it wasn't. It's like, okay, as you get older
Truth.
and you get more gamed up, you're like, oh, okay, this motherfucker, she was just keeping me around just to satisfy her need for attention. Really, at the end of the day, she's got somebody, fawning over her. She's got somebody that's always calling her this, that, and the third. And it's like, bro, once you get older and you start to get some of what the elders call perspective, now you look back and you see how you was getting played. And instead of being selfish, and instead of dissing her, because I'm not dissing her, I'm just calling it what it was. You know what I'm saying? I want to pass that game on to the younger brothers and just encourage them just on how to move differently. If she's not showing an equal amount of interest, you need to just leave that situation alone. And, when you're doing, not if, but when you're doing well later in life and she decides she want to pop her little ass up, you need to think back to how she treated you before she ran out of options. Because I'm noticing the common thread between all these women, they hadn't hit the wall, some of them, but they hit the wall, if you get what I mean. Meaning they were out of options. You know what I'm saying? So now that you out of options, the stable guy who, had things popping, he's all of a sudden attractive now. You used to want the bad boy or the high school football player, the jock, whatever. Now the guy who was just, consistent, now he's attractive. With no kids, by the way, who got his paper straight, by the way. Now he's all of a sudden attractive. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Those
so
things, those qualities should have been attractive in me before, is how
exactly.
is my feel. You know what I'm saying?
So so
So,
what
brothers, you
basic
have to know who you are and what you bring to the table. Know your value and don't let nobody shortchange you. And that's the long and short of it. But
so
yeah,
basic so basically it's you guys ought to understand it's a testimony. Sometimes you'll get tried, the universe, God has a certain way of testing your will, your might, and to see if you fall in that trap. There's other times where you're supposed to leave somebody and you didn't, and the minute you leave, you end up getting the girl pregnant. So you were supposed to leave when you were supposed to leave. You linger around, you know, whenever you play with fire, you too long, you get burnt.
Real
So
talk.
sometimes you gotta understand when to cut and go and not to linger around. So be very concise with your decisions. If it ain't working for you, cut somewhere else and go somewhere else, because the minute and the second you take extra long on somebody that isn't valuing your time is that minute or second that you intersect with somebody else. So if I spend 5 minutes with this person, that means I could have been 5 minutes going to the store and end up bumping my soulmate. So always take that in consideration. Don't linger around. There's always a testimony. There's always a test going. Choose the right direction. So just wanted to add that in before I switch topics real quick.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna go into our Trendingly weekly topic, and I know this one. I know Major's gonna have a field day with this one. But we're definitely going to talk about something that is very serious. And we talked about this earlier in one of our episodes. You got to check it out. Emotional maturity. So with that being said, so Jonah Hill is accused of emotional abuse by ex-girlfriend. And why I think this is so important that we need to talk about this, right? I think that men get a bad rep. And why I say men get a bad rep is because men get a bad rep because every time you hear something like that or thinking about something like that, you would think that automatically the man is at fault because we hear emotions. We think of women knowing their emotions and everything like that. And that's far from the case. To be honest, I don't think there is enough women that understand emotional intelligence as I think they massively, or the collective group think that they understand emotional intelligence. I think that it is a word that they just throw around, that they're emotionally intelligent, but I don't think women are emotionally intelligent on a mass level like that. And I want to show you this video that I thought was pretty dope that breaks that stuff down. Let's see if it plays. You know what I'm saying? It didn't play. No. So here's the thing. It didn't play on the video, right? But I will give you guys the audio because I think it's very important for you guys to hear this, right? All right, let's see if we can hear it. I really hate the fact that the video is going this way, man. I'm telling you, there's some great videos I have that I think a lot of y'all will love.
Pretty emotionally intelligent dude. I've noticed that there's only room for my emotions when they're convenient for the woman that's asking me to be emotionally intelligent. That any emotional labor I do that's not for her convenience, or not that she's something she specifically asked for, that either goes unnoticed, or when I'm saying something that's not favorable, the shit gets used against me and it becomes about how she feels about what I said and not about the shit that I said. Ladies making something too much sense. Somebody cry. Somebody cry. All I'm saying, because saying that, all right, now we got our own money, we want y'all to be emotionally intelligent, that's a great argument until it becomes a real life situation and you start to deal with an emotionally intelligent and you realize it ain't been enough of them in your life and you don't know what to do with that type of man. You're not lying. This is sweetheart, my baby, if all you done had is dudes that don't know how to express themselves, don't come sitting in front of me A nigga that know how to express himself, complaining when I goddamn express myself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to share that. I thought that was
Heavy.
very powerful. I thought that was very heavy because I do feel like a lot of women, and I've run across a lot of women that feel like they are emotionally there and they're really not. And like you said,
Extremely immature.
I don't,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I don't think there's a lot of emotionally immature women that think that they're emotionally mature because they haven't ran across a man that understands that level that they claim to be on. You see
You know
what I'm
what's
saying?
funny?
It's funny. It's crazy when you go somewhere and you be telling people you're a chess master, or you tell somebody you're a kung fu master, and then you get in a fight and you get your ass whooped, and somebody be like, "Damn, I thought you was a kung fu master." It sound good until you get into actual action.
Right.
You
Right.
feel me?
You know, the
No,
funny thing
definitely.
about that is, that gets tossed around a lot. But one of the concepts that he kind of expressed as well too is the concept of emotional labor, and that's an issue that Dr. Tia-San Johnson, shout out to Dr. Johnson and the Onyx Report
Shout out to
podcast that he
Johnson.
has.
Mm-hmm.
If for all, I think for men and women alike, definitely somebody worth following on social media, especially on Facebook. I know he's active. YouTube, he's active on there as well. Um, I would definitely say one of the leading scholars in the realm of Black male studies. Very important work that he does along with Dr. Tommy Curry as well. But he's really bangs the drum on that a lot about emotional labor. And just for context, emotional labor is the process of managing feelings and expressions to fulfill the emotional requirements of a job. It involves analysis and decision making in terms of the expression of emotion, whether actually felt or not, and its opposite, the suppression of emotions that are felt but not expressed. And Dr. Johnson talks a lot about how men do the bulk of the emotional labor in relationships and how often it goes not being recognized.
Oh.
So
Man.
one of the classic examples. I mean, this is an example that's as old as time.
Mm.
Classic examples in a relationship where a woman goes and walks up to her husband. Usually, the husband is just watching TV, eating, reading a paper, minding his own damn business. He ain't doing a damn thing to nobody about nothing. Now,
Mm.
the blue, she gonna walk up in some kind of outfit saying, "Honey, does this make me look fat?" Now, if he tells the truth, because she is looking pudgy, she's clearly busting on that dress, and he says, "Yes, honey, you look fat," or no matter how he says it, if it's anything in the affirmative, he's a villain. He's probably gonna get hit. Something's gonna
Of
get
course.
thrown at him. Abuse, mind you. This is abuse.
Of
But he's
course.
gonna be abused, whatever, for being honest with her, not trying to hurt her feelings, but just giving an honest answer. But if he lies to her and says, "No, you look just fine. You look great," now
Mm-hmm.
she's pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that she's getting bigger and likely this is going to continue, which isn't going to be good for her in the long run, probably might
Right.
even affect his attraction to her. But
Mm-hmm.
this undue burden is placed on his shoulders where now he has to placate her. So now he can't even be honest and communicate with her effectively or openly. He has to walk on eggshells for fear of upsetting her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And rarely do you see this kind of situation with the reverse, where there's a situation where the man says this and the woman has to step around on eggshells. And the funny thing is, usually when that does occur, and not incorrectly, but usually when this occurs, is with the man being abusive. So she says something that offends him, she's gonna get hit or hurt or something, or he's gonna be violent towards her. But when the
Mm-hmm.
woman does the same thing, either because she's gonna hit him or cuss him out, whatever, it's not seen as violent. But there's this
Mm-mm.
extra level of labor burden that's placed on his shoulders.
Right.
And there's so many levels. That's just one level, but there's so many different cases where this occurs on a regular basis that men aren't even aware of, where we're forced to basically play this extra role, this burden that goes sight unseen, and it's not even appreciated. Because even if we have to do it as
Extraordinary.
one thing, but not even appreciation, baby, I appreciate you for doing X, Y, Z, or I thank you for doing X, Y, Z. That doesn't even happen. That's just considered part of what you're supposed to do as a man. But this is a
Extraordinary
human
point.
issue. So this
Mm-hmm.
happens all the time where, again, the whole, like you said, Ant, the concept
Yeah.
of emotional intelligence, emotional labor.
Yes.
Women are supposedly seen as the ones who run this, but truth be told, men have to put this on far more often than others, and when we do put it on, it's not recognized nearly as much as it is when it's women. Everything is
Exactly.
a trophy that's waved. I want credit for this, that, and the other.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, men show up and it just gets done. There's no fanfare. There's no ticker tape parade. There's no award ceremony. It just shows up and gets done to the point where it's not even thought of or acknowledged.
Yeah.
Mm. Real talk,
Exactly.
bro. You spit that one, Bob. You know, what jumps out to me is, going back to Jonah Hill. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jonah Hill. You didn't go through exactly what he said in there, but
Yeah.
there was nothing that Jonah Hill said in his statement that was emotionally abusive in any capacity.
Yeah.
He just laid out boundaries. He said what he was expecting and what would fly and what wouldn't. And that's
Matter of
what you're
fact,
supposed to do.
matter of
You
fact,
know,
let's
go
not
ahead.
let's not if we go hop on this, it doesn't have to be long, but let's get in it. Ant, can you pull up and read exactly what it was that he said in that text
That's a
message?
good idea because
Yeah.
he
Let's
said
let's
some shit.
I'll pull it up.
let's
Go
get
ahead.
into the weeds. Let's do it.
Let
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let me
Jonah
let
Hill.
me go ahead, Major. You cook until I find it.
Yeah. What he said, and if you can't find it, I have it on my page because I posted about that actually right before the show.
Oh, okay.
Because what
Let me go
he
on your
said
page.
was so profound. I got it if you don't have it.
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay, you can put it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up.
And I
But
think it's
yeah,
also
man,
funny in light of the whole Kiki thing in it. And I think you will tie the dots about how the two aren't unrelated. That this popped off not by chance right after the whole Kiki thing did. But I think it's funny how.
I
Well,
think she's
go ahead.
trying to get some Kiki publicity. You know what I'm saying? She's a nobody that no one cares about. And I think that she's
No one
trying to
heard of.
jump on the Kiki train because you see how the white media jumped behind Kiki and started talking about how her boyfriend is publicly shaming her for her outfit. They always do this. They put that battery in a black woman's back when she's attacking a black man specifically. This is
For
what this bird
dysfunction.
brain didn't realize.
For
You're going
dysfunction.
after a white man. You ain't getting no press. You dig? They're gonna go after Kiki Palmer's husband or boyfriend or whatever he is because he's black. They're gonna go after him. You going after a white man. So number one, 2, and 3, they ain't gonna go after him because he's a white man and they're not gonna smear him like that. On top of that, he's a Jew. That's number 4. And on top of that, you ain't got no point. You understand what I'm saying? Because this man didn't say anything, and you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, can you put it up, please, so we can
Yeah,
I can go over that?
Yeah, I'm putting it up.
This man didn't say anything that was hurtful, or should have been upsetting or disrespectful, or as she was saying, is proof of his emotional abuse towards her. What are you talking about? You understand? This is what these people who've never faced anything in their life, and want somebody to feel sorry for them so they can get some free publicity and some sympathy, to heighten their careers or boost their profile. This is where these type of trolls come from. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, he basically broke it down. I'm gonna go if you having trouble uploading it, I'll just go.
Yeah, you can go.
This is how he broke it down. He said, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post pictures, sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. He goes on to say, if these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. But these are my boundaries for romantic relationships. So not only did he say, hey, look, if you feel like you need to post sexual pictures with yourself and, be around all these guys, whatever to, do this or that, I ain't the guy for you. That's not abusive.
And further, because I just looked at it. Further, not to cut you off, but at the end of that, he also said, because there's going to be a ton of women saying, That's abusive. He's wrong for that. He also went on, not that he needed to justify it, but he also slapped on the end. These are my boundaries with you based on the
Yes.
way these actions have hurt our trust. So there has been an incident or incidents in the
Right.
past
Right.
where he could point to these things and say, this has caused problems, so now these need to be done away with if we're going to move forward.
Right. But
Again,
see,
not that he needed that, but
right.
he's saying that there's an actual basis for these things that I'm pointing out. I didn't just pull this out my ass. I didn't just have a
Right.
dream one day and say this. No, there's actual reason for this. I've thought about this, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what it needs to be going forward.
Right. And see, the difference being here, since she's going after a white male, we actually get to see the shit for what it is. They didn't put no, nothing up, no text up to lead the audience in a certain way. Oh, he's shaming her, or he did this, or he was emotionally abusive. She said he was emotionally abusive, and that's it. You understand what I'm saying? So we get to really see what's going on here. Actually, my wife had read this to me last night, and I was like, that don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? Because, she was reading what the girl said. Oh, he was emotionally abusive. And I'm like, okay, well, what did he do or say? And she's reading this text to me, and I'm like, in her effort to try to make this man seem like he's being emotionally abusive, he's showing us that this man is an adult and a sound quality human being. You're the dumbass. You understand? Because you don't even know what emotional abuse is. This is not abusive in any capacity. The man is saying, hey, I'm not with if this is what you feel like you need to do to be successful. Basically, if you're gonna throw your ass all over Hollywood and be up in every dude's face, sexualize yourself, I ain't the guy for you. And that's what you're supposed to do. And he even says at the end, hey, if that brings you happiness, that's your business. We can still be cool. That is about as respectful as I don't want to fuck with you as it gets. You understand what I'm saying? This is what the dude, Kiki's dude should have did before she even had an outfit moment. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's no way that you're going to convince me that there weren't other signs leading up to that.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying? You should have never got there. You should have never given a child to this piece of trash to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? To have this conversation in a public space. And that's what Buddy right here is doing. That's what Jonah Hill's doing. That's what he's saying. Like, yo, if you got to do all that and this is the way you carry yourself, since carrying yourself like a lady is, taboo now, nobody wants to do it. It's a thing of the past. If this how you feel you need to conduct yourself, I ain't rocking with you. He actually was very kind to her, very polite. She just didn't like the fact that she was getting rejected. Let's just call it what it is. He ain't want your ass no more. And you had a problem with that.
Something else that I found interesting about this was because again, I like to go ahead and touch I like to go ahead and look at everything with certain things. I know a lot of people like to say when things like this happen, oh, these are celebrities, it doesn't matter. But I've been a staunch advocate from day one that reactions do matter, because even if these things, are all out of Hollywood and these are rich people problems, whatever, I'm a firm believer that how people react to things says a lot about them.
It does.
So of course, the first thing I did is I went to the comments. I'm looking around and I'm just taking observations. And I noticed, interestingly enough, that there was equal support from women for Jonah as there were from men. I saw an overwhelming, in fact, the bulk of the comments that have reactions in the triple figures and even in the quadruple figures, the bulk of them are positive. They're either likes or loves, and they're mainly from women.
You know why?
Saying he's absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with what he said. I'm looking, and I'm comparing that to the reaction I'm seeing over here with the whole Kiki situation.
You know why?
Like,
Do you know why? Big bro.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
He's white. And you know what?
He said so.
As much as people, say what they say, whatever the case may be, and I'm not going to say, White folks don't have their own problems, whatever the case may be. But broadly speaking, white women still have respect for white men. That's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. Black women, unfortunately, in contrast, as a group, have lost a tremendous amount of respect for black men. And I'm not going to sit up here and co-sign that or qualify that and say why it's okay, because that will be bitch made. And I'm not full of shit like that. There is no reason that either of us should not have respect for the other. You understand what I'm saying? It starts with basic respect, is my point. You understand?
Yeah.
And there's so many people out here, all these relationship shows and these relationship events or whatever the case may be, specifically within the black community, that ain't about shit. They're going nowhere. They have no solutions. And that is because at the end of the day, they're not solution based. See, in order to be able to discuss solutions and offer solutions, you have to first know what you're talking about. And I've said this a million times. I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. Unless you're talking about getting into people's head, getting into people's hearts, and telling black men and black women to both come to the table in good faith and be willing to change some things fundamentally about the way that we approach with and deal with each other, you ain't talking about shit. You can save all your events. They're useless, because that's the solution. That's the only solution. We've been doing too much, too wrong for too long. And we got to come to the table in good faith. We have to have these long, drawn-out discussions so that we can identify the problem and then provide solutions to the problems. You understand? And, you know, if you're just having these events that are just, you know, feel-good moments, or some of them not even that. Some of them are just all-out slugfest. I see some of these damn shows online where people just yelling at each other. What's that accomplishing? No, you need people, responsible and thoughtful people from both sides to come to the table. Hey, these are the points that I want to make, you know, regarding, you know, the brothers and some of the things that we want to see from the sisters, and have sisters do the same thing. And okay, let's come together. Let's see what that looks like. You know, okay, you don't like the way that brothers approach you. What would be a good, because a lot of sisters, I'm just using that as a common thing. A lot of sisters, you know, over time have complained they don't like the way brothers approach them. Let's have a panel, you know, discussing the way that brothers approach sisters, and let's try another way. Let's hear from the sisters what ways they might find helpful for brothers to approach them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, okay, well, that's a solution because the sisters are signing off on it and the brothers are willing to meet them halfway and act on it. Now you solving something. Other than that, you just wasted your time and everybody else's. You know, people like Derek Jackson, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Derek Jackson has these seminars where he blows smoke up these naive women's asses and tells them everything they want to hear. He ain't helping nobody. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, he's worsening the situation, because anytime you have a group of people, and I say this to people that are famous, you know, people who I know and people who are local that I don't know. Anytime you have a group of people, and we're focusing on the women in this capacity because it's usually them, you know, and you're blowing smoke up their ass and you're telling them that they don't have anything they need to work on. You beautiful sis, ain't nothing wrong with you. You know, you ain't got nothing you need to change. It's just these big bad old men. They just don't want you because they stupid. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you what you're doing is not effective at all. You're making the situation worse. And I take that personally because, you know, I have seen people actually institute change in the community. I come from a family of people who are activists. You understand what I'm saying? And when you know, yelling fire in a crowded theater, you dig, and there's no fire. I mean, There's no there there. Is basically what I'm saying, and those people are every bit as harmful, to the environment as the people, who are just showing up just to argue. You understand what I'm saying? The people, the ass kissers, the fence straddlers. You dig that they
They're
ain't
one and the
helpful at all.
same. They're one and the same. Because
Huh?
to tack on what you know, I'm saying that they're one and the same. Because to tack on further, when we get together, it's not enough to even have these ideas about what the other group needs to work on and stuff. You need to come to a place where you are, figuratively speaking, broken, where the defenses are down, where the armor is down, because as long as you're coming to the table, but you're not coming to the table in good faith to negotiate, you're trying to get as much as you can while giving up as less as you can, nothing's going to get done. The
Exactly.
true, I learned a long time ago that the the point of negotiation, you know that you were in a good negotiation, that is whether it's business, whatever. And I learned this specifically when it comes to business.
Mm-hmm.
But the art of negotiation, of conducting a proper business agreement, whether it's between two parties or more, a good negotiation isn't when you walk away from the table and you got what you wanted, or when you leave the table and you didn't have to give up much of anything. A good negotiation is when you up and left the table and everybody left feeling good about the deal that was made. Not one person left feeling salty about it.
No
And
doubt.
the person who was a mentor I spoke to a while ago that put me on to that and really taught me about that. And he gave an example of his own life where he worked as a contractor many, many
Mm-hmm.
moons ago in New York. And his firm, he didn't run it, but he was one of the people in charge of management. His firm was tasked. They got a contract for repainting. There was a remodeling job going on a large office building, like at least
Mm-hmm.
20 stories tall. And his company got tasked with the contract for repainting the whole thing for the renovation. So they were primarily just repainting. And it was a specific pattern. So it wasn't just, slapping one color paint on the walls. It was a specific kind of pattern that they wanted done on the building, what have you. And so his particular job, along with overseeing the contract with everything and make sure everything was done accordingly, his job was to go ahead and give the final check off and to go to the building owners and say, okay, we've completed the job X Y Z, the job is done or whatever. So sure enough, the job came and went and he did his final inspection, and he determined that, oh snap, we botched the floor. 20 floors in the whole building. Like, we messed up on one of these floors. Now, we can just go ahead and let it ride and not say anything and later on have them come after the fact and we still get paid. But he said, but you know what? We start this deal. I'm not going to go ahead and sacrifice our reputation because we have a certain reputation. We want to do future business with these people. We want to be
That's all.
recommended. And anyone that knows anything about dealing with contracting at any level, whether it's the local handyman all the way up to at the corporate level where you're doing huge contracts with the cities and governments and everything else, you know that one of the biggest complaints about contractors is that they janky. They do
True.
not deal business properly. Anyone that's done business with contractors, have hired people, if they've done at least 3 or 4 contracts with different contractors, they got a story about at least one of them taking off with a bag. They got paid half and they dipped out. They didn't even stick around to get the other half. They just ran off on the bag, or they did sloppy work and complained, expecting to get paid full. It's out there. So if you're a contractor, and there's also some free game as a coincidence. So if you're a contractor, if you're a service provider,
Mm.
one of the best ways that you can make a name for yourself and get repeat business and get bigger and better contracts is by being thorough, being about your word, and about making sure that you're giving more than you're receiving. Because even if you don't get it up front, the words will come out. It's going to speak for itself. But he went ahead and he spoke to the people and he said, look, I got to be honest with you. We did a thorough job, as thorough as could be expected, but we did make a mistake. There is a floor that was botched. Terribly sorry. This isn't our usual standard. So he said, as a result of that, not only are we going to repaint that floor, but we're not going to charge you for it. It's on us. We messed up. That's our bad.
That's what's up.
He
That's what's
said
up.
not only did the company go ahead and show love to go ahead and chipped in a little extra for the service,
Mm.
they also bragged and gave rave reviews to everybody in town. He said, based off that one job, their company was eating big
There it
time in the
is.
city. Because
There it
not only
is.
did they do a third job, because again, the paint job was thorough on all the other floors. But not only did they do that, but more than anything, it was their integrity and their
Right.
commitment to a quality job that went ahead and made open doors for them in other places.
Integrity matters, man.
Definitely.
Real talk.
If you
Definitely.
are coming to the table and you're trying to just get everything that you can, and you don't have to give up on anything, you don't have to give up any of your bad habits, any of your traumas, you don't have to put in any work, but you want the other side to give, to bend over and give everything,
Right.
nothing can be done. You're gonna, if
Definitely.
anything, you're gonna walk away from the table more salty, more bitter. You'd been better never getting together in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Because now it's going to be that much more work to undo. That's another layer of dysfunction and bad feeling and ill will towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I have a true story.
Neely Fuller Jr. talked about this before. We, especially black people, we don't need we do enough partying and bullshit going on. We only really need to be getting together when it's to get something constructive done. And if you're not
Yeah.
coming willing to properly put in work, everything is up for grabs. The only
Mm-hmm.
acceptable outcome is to leave here changed and different. Stop wasting your time and other people's time.
Real talk.
Yeah. There.
Mm.
That's a true story. I know a woman who, black mother, single, has her home, and 3 contractors did work on her house. One guy did. He extended a room. He put on a room. He didn't do the roof, and found out that he didn't do the window seals right. So the water was leaking from the roof and the window seals. The second guy she got, he patched up the roof, and then after that, the water came through of the patched up job. It was really a botched job. Then he tried to, she thought it was a good job, so she ended up giving him the shed job because she had a shed and she wanted him to do over the shed and do the roof. He charged her $1,000, got 2 crackheads and put 1 nail in there. And no, he charged her $1,800, but he got $1,000 up front and got 2 crackheads. He probably paid $50 each. Pocket the rest. They put up some 2 nails. I look like your child was striking the hammer. The way the nails landed in the wood crooked.
Jesus.
And so she spent all this money. She had to spend about, I would say, 16,000. I want to say 25. So about $4,100. She got so tired. She was just frustrated with black contractors trying to help black people out, and found this. Her neighbor had a Spanish guy. He did work over there. She said, "Hey, he did good work." She got this Spanish guy to not only correct the roof, then she had him do inside her. He did the paint inside the room and laid some from floor tiles down, and he did the shed, and he did all of that for $3,000.
Wow.
The roof don't leak no more because they stripped the whole roof. The guy did some patch thing.
Jeez.
They stripped the whole roof and then took out the wood because it was already wet and redid the whole thing. He did the whole thing for the shed, man. The shed looks so. When I tell you that this guy should charge more, I understand why he don't charge more. Because the man understands that his work is so good,
yeah,
and it's underpriced. This man, it's hard for you to get an appointment with him because he's so booked up. I think right now he's up in. I think he's in Tampa right now. That's how good he is. Motherfuckers is paying for his travel time to come up there.
That's crazy.
And what makes me so mad is that, and I have nothing against Hispanic people or anybody else outside of our race. What makes me so mad is that we were original carpenters. We were original builders. If you look at Haiti, and the castle that is in Haiti, and the constructing the Moorish temple and the Moorish community, and back in Africa and even in Spain, the structural build that they did, the architectural work that Black people have done.
Yeah.
We were the original tradesmen. We did phenomenal work that was so impressive. That structure that's up in Haiti right now, the way that castle sits through all the weathers and all of that, and still standing like it was built there yesterday, is phenomenal. The Bahamians that came here early in Florida, that migrated here, and they built up Florida, and then you see the structures that they built while they were here. Phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Look at the structures in Opalaka. Built like you would think that you're over there in Africa or in India or somewhere. The way they built it to make it look like it.
Right.
You know, and it's so crazy. We don't take pride in our past, and now we don't even have the balance anymore. So the people that are doing it, that are good, when they're dying out and can't do it anymore, nothing, the torch isn't being passed down. So now all of our work, tradesmen work, is being exported to other races. And to be honest, like I tell people all the time, sorry, it's okay to go out there and get a degree. It sounds good, it feels good, but it's really based on what you want to do as a person. But to be honest with you, when you have a trade, you can survive this world no matter how the economy is ran, because I'm not based on my employer telling me that I can come into work when he feels like I'm ready to come into work, or when he's ready to put me on the schedule. I can say, okay, you don't want to put me on the schedule? All right, I'm not going to go in. You didn't put me on the schedule as a plumber. Guess what? I'm going to go and do some plumbing work at all these other people that need work. If the company shut down, guess what? I still have a trade where I could go out here and solicit my information. Hey, you need a plumber? Everybody needs a plumber. Everybody needs an electrician. These were jobs that just solidified our community and solidified a paycheck, a heavy paycheck, and funded a lot of our families back in the days. And we have gotten away from that. And I think I really want to do something. Maybe we could do some with Manversations where we can start trying to do seminars and build something. I don't know if it's evaluation or something we can do for our tradespeople, but we can get with some other professionals and see what we can do to help out a lot of our tradesmen, because we have bad practices, and it's all across the board in different fields. But I think we need to get back in our practices. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to get better at that. So we definitely, you know, we got so much things going on with Manversations that we definitely have a bright future of what we want to do for our community and build our peoples. So you guys stay tuned, man, because I think we got a lot of great things that we can definitely put together
for sure
for our community. So that's all I want to say. You guys have anything else before we switch topics real quick?
No, I think we tightened it up a little bit. Yeah.
Right, so let's get into it. All right. So our next topic is hell yeah and hell no. I know this is a fan favorite. Everybody likes it. I know I like it when it comes around to this time, because you know we get to see what is what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
All right. Let's get it. All right. So here we are. First up, James Harden. Hell yeah.
Hell no. Hell no. That's a hard no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's a hard no. I like him. You know why I like him? I like him because he's getting the bag from the dominant society. He's getting the bag.
Anybody in the NBA? Huh? That's anybody in the NBA.
I got hell no, my man.
No, but what I'm saying is, to be honest, where he has lackluster and still getting the bag, dog.
He's exactly, and he whines too damn much. That's why I don't like him. My God.
Yeah. And I like it because I'm like, shit, if you get in the bag and you whining, hey, might as well go get that bag. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
James Harden is. I don't dislike James Harden, My
Yeah.
issue with the brother is that his gross lack of discipline. That's my issue with him. Because
Yeah.
That too.
as talented and skilled a player as he is, because he's a damn good guard. He's a
Yeah.
damn he's great at his position. Great playmaker, great shooter. I mean, man can shoot the lights off the building. If he was more serious about committing to his craft, he was intentional. Well, forget intentional. If he actually even attempted to play defense,
Yeah.
if he did, I mean, for God's sake, the man has a reputation where if he's playing a team in a city that's got a legit strip club, you know his production gonna be garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the brother does not take his career seriously. He took it
Agreed.
serious enough to get there, but he ain't taking himself seriously. That's my only issue with him, and it shows. Because I
Agreed.
truly believe he could take over the league if he wanted to, but
Mhm.
he's stunning himself. I want him to get out of his own way, is what I want.
All right.
All right. So
Fair enough.
Before I say the next thing, I'll leave you guys with this. So he should work harder on the plantation. All right. So the next question is,
Work harder. He should work harder to be the best version of himself. Don't play with me, bro.
Shit.
Oh gosh, Run DMC. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Who don't like
Run
Run DMC? My
Yes.
Edith.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Legend.
So LeVar Ball. Hell yeah. I love
Hell
LeVar
yeah.
Ball.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Super hell yeah.
Yes.
What's
Love that
above,
brother to life.
hell yeah?
Yes.
What's above hell yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Super hell yeah.
Super hell
Super
yeah.
hell yeah, then.
Yeah.
The blueprint
All right.
right there.
I heard he replacing Shannon Sharp on that show, by the way.
I wish he do. I
Oh.
wish
I don't want him to do that.
I
Mm.
wish he do.
We'll see.
I want to get Max Kellerman on that. I agree with what if you hadn't heard, I agree with what what's the man Cameron and Mace said about the situation. I agree with them on that. I think
That'd be interesting.
Skip likes to use black culture to go ahead and push himself forward. I want to see if he can still create that same spark with another white
Uh-huh.
co-host.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
I think
He's
Skip
bored.
got a
That's
hankering for black men. That's just, maybe I'm tripping, but that's.
I'm gonna use the same descriptor he likes to use about LeBron on this. He's a shrewd customer. He's a shrewd customer. He knows entertainment. He knows what's gonna sell and get views, and he knows that it ain't somebody else that looks like him on there.
Okay, that's what it is.
I think what it is with Skip, it's the image. He looks real good to black people because they use the reverse narrative. So a lot of times he's defending a lot of the black athletes. So it looks like he's more down with the culture than bashing against it, like a Stephen A. Smith.
He's trying to be the Eminem of sports sports analysis.
Good point.
Exactly.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
You
right.
slip, Mr. Skip. We see you, man.
Jonah Hill. Hell yeah. He's cool.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Jonah Hill. And shout out to him specifically for putting this wench in her place at the door. Respect.
Amy Schumer. No.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Ain't shit funny about Amy Schumer. Nothing.
No.
Maybe her face.
Tiffany Haddish.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. That's another one that ain't funny at all.
And especially with that pedophile thing. There was
oh man, with the pedophile thing.
Yeah.
And she's always trying to, throw some shots to try to sleep with a white man. Just go away.
She's a willing vessel. She understands the assignment. She understands what got her there, what's going to keep her there, at least for the
She's
time
a
being.
coon.
Yeah.
Went to the awards with a chicken wing in her pocket. Who the fuck does that? Like,
Patrick Mahomes.
Hell
Nah.
Hell yeah. You tripping. That's the best quarterback in the league, bro.
Okay, so we could take the quarterback side. I'm not knocking him on that, but he's when we were getting our asses kicked by the police, he's pro-police all day.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah. You got to go back, man.
That doesn't surprise me.
I didn't hear about that. In fact, I heard exactly the opposite.
Yeah?
Yes.
You gotta go look at some of his stuff.
I'm gonna check it out.
Pro Police.
And I don't think he'd be the opposite, because if he was the opposite, he probably not as severe, but he would definitely been getting the Colin Cap treatment, because them people love to whine and cry. So
but he wasn't loud and whatever. But he's I've heard of him speak in support of us a number of times, not to the point where he was doing protest on the field, but I've heard him speaking in support of us a number of times. So I don't know. I gotta check it out though. He might have backtracked. I don't know.
Yeah.
He whoops my team, so that's where my hell now comes from. Anything else I'm unaware of. So.
He whooped the shit out the Bengals, yeah.
Sexy Red.
Oh, hell no.
No.
That's the wackest rapper to come out in the last 20 years, and that's saying a lot.
I tell you what, if I hear that name one more time, I'm going to catch a felony.
She can't rap or beat. She can't construct a coherent sentence. Oh, God. Oh.
She can't rap.
I've never heard this chick anywhere, and I'm mad.
She brags about her STDs, nigga. Really?
She looks like one. I mean,
my head is exploding.
No.
And just low quality men, y'all still going in this girl raw. Like
still.
Golly. Y'all gonna catch something you can't cure. Keep that in mind.
Shit, crazy.
Sushi. Hell no.
Hell no.
Wait. Is this an artist or?
Yeah, no. This is food. You know you eat sushi.
Hell yeah!
Whoa.
Oh, yo.
I know you eat sushi, dog.
Yo, sleep. Oh,
Bobby, one of those sushi people?
Yeah,
I can't do it.
UFC fighters is sushi eaters.
I've tried.
I'm gonna bring some culture to y'all. Don't worry, I got things for that. Yo,
okay,
man, sushi good. Sushi good for you too, man.
Okay,
nah, man. We not going in the octagon, dog. So we good.
Oh.
Tattooed eyebrows. Hell no.
Hell no. That's one of the wackest fads. That is the wackest fad to come out in the last 20 years. Tattooed eyebrows.
Got it. That's.
I mean, when I take a little bottle of white vinegar, just spray and just wipe things off. Just.
MSNBC. Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Liberal TV. Rachel Maddow, all them people and shit.
Cluck TV.
No way. I like
Adam
Chris Hayes, but I can't watch the channel. It's ridiculous.
Adam 22.
Hell
no.
Who's that?
What do people see in that dude?
That's that No Jumper podcast dude.
Oh,
what do people see in him?
Oh, that's the guy who let the black dude bang his wife? No.
Yes.
Niggas is weird.
Oh my God, nigga. If I did like him. Now? Nigga, you just weird. Like, why is that was his birthday gift.
Ask us to come on there. We'll come on your show though.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll come on your show.
You gonna have to explain that bullshit though. Cause bro.
Have conversations on your show.
That was his
y'all out there.
Boy, that's a major L.
I know too much already. I don't want to know anymore. Cool.
Faith Evans.
Hell
I
no.
like Faith.
Hell
I like
no.
Faith. No, you don't like Faith?
No.
I like Faith as a singer. No?
What you like about Faith?
I love her music.
I like her songs. Soon as I come home, oh man.
That song is a nice song. I like the song.
You getting the business off of that song, boy.
Man, bro.
I like the song.
Woo.
I like the song.
Back in the day, though, Faith was that crush. I was definitely keeping the faith. Yeah.
Faith Evans.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
When I saw that video too, I was too young, but I learned all the ancestral knowledge and I kicked when I saw that video. Like, I don't know what I should know about this, but somehow I know it. Okay.
I bet. Oh, I can't stand her.
But I have heard some things recently about her, especially in the wake of this whole divorce thing, that are unpleasant that I don't like.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They say she a heavy drug addict, you know what I'm saying? But the reason I don't like her is I feel like she's responsible for the East Coast, West Coast shit. I feel like it really all started with her. Had she not been,
damn,
with Tupac,
oh yeah.
He would have never been able to put that line in that song, and Quiet as It's Kept. That's what really got everybody hot, bro. that line in that song. You dig? When I heard that shit the first time, I'm like, oh shit, somebody go get shot. Nigga, yo, even Ice-T, he said when he heard that shit the first time, he told Tupac, man, don't put that shit out. What's wrong with you? Yo.
You try to start a war, Lord, yeah.
And look what happened. You dig?
Omar Epps.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
hell
that's
yeah.
my dude.
Hey,
Big
I
up to
watched a
Brother
movie with him
Epps.
last night.
my dude,
The Devil
man.
You Know? Oh, that shit
Yeah.
was lit.
That was good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I gotta watch. I need to put together. I'm gonna start doing that too. I'm gonna start stringing together like little movie marathons on these weekends with certain
Here, Ryder.
actors and
Check that
actresses.
movie out.
Omar
Check
Epps.
that
I'm gonna
out.
kick it off with him. Matter of
Yeah.
fact,
Actually,
have y'all seen O? That modern take on Othello.
No.
Look at with him and I think it's Josh Hartnett. Look that
Word?
up, man. That was
Okay.
that was phenomenally done.
I'm gonna check it out.
Looked it up. Him and I think it was Josh Hartnett. It's yeah, Josh Hartnett. Look that up, and that's a real good. I don't want to give anything about it away, but that's definitely a classic gem from back in the day. Didn't get a whole bunch of buzz, but that was a really good movie, man.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out. Bet.
So, Jordan Retros 11.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Every Christmas, dog. Every Christmas they drop. And I be fighting myself not to get something. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Jordan.
I'm not a Jordan head, so I'm not the one to ask. So if it looks
Jordan's
good, cool.
okay.
If not, nah.
They look good, but I don't really buy Jordans like that. So
okay.
I'm not a Jordan head either. Zazie Beetz.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, that's the chick who
from Atlanta.
What
And
was
the
she
harder
most
they fall.
recently?
Oh, with the curly
Yeah,
hair.
that.
Yeah, with the
She
natural
was
hair.
also she was also in the Bullet Train movie as well too. She was one of
Oh,
the female
word? I didn't know
assassins.
that.
Yeah,
Zazie Beetz is dope, yo. I like
she's
Zazie
dope.
Beetz.
Yeah, she's dope. She's dope. Bishop Talbert Swan. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That brother ride for the community, man.
Yeah. He does.
Shout out to Bishop Talbot Swan. He official as hell, bro.
We need more non-cooning ministers out there. Dude. He definitely does his thing.
Yes. I love it.
Chris Tucker. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love Chris
Hell yeah.
Forever.
Smoke
Chris
Tucker. Boost Mobile. No.
Hell yeah. Well, you tripping, bro. You tripping now.
You tripping.
The fuck?
Boost Mobile is lit.
I'll give them props for the commercials back in the day. They had a good marketing campaign. They had where you at, the whole city behind us. They had a game. They had who else? Kanye, Ludacris. They had some good campaigns back in the day. I'm gonna give them props.
Let me know. If you gotta deal with them or something. They gonna promote Manifestations 2020.
No, I got Boost Mobile.
I don't want to fuck up the bag if you got
stuff. I got Boost Mobile.
You gotta chill, man.
I'm working on it. That's the answer.
All right, last but not least, Bernice Burgos. Hell no.
Hell no.
I can't.
Hell no.
Hell no.
First off, is she even still around? I haven't heard that name before.
She's still around.
Yeah, she's around, but the thing about it is,
I guess ain't much has changed either.
Yeah, so many women. It's so many women, young women now. Everybody got the BBLs and everybody look the same. So all those older heads that was popular, they vanish out quick.
And the thing is, they got that mentality that they had to be like that from women like her. That's why I don't like her.
Unfortunately.
That's why. And she got her daughter out here doing that same shit, which is disgusting and despicable. So hell no. Not for me. I can't.
Well, I mean, how else could she turn out? I mean, that's her first teacher. That's her first example of womanhood. If that's what womanhood is,
shout out Black China.
What else could it be?
Yeah.
Who else? Shout out to who's that? Was that JT or one of them city girls talking about
Young Miami and Black China?
Young Miami.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughter to be a city girl, but it's okay for me. Okay. Your daughter gonna be the big, and I'm not putting on the child, but the way our children are, they tend to be force multipliers. Whatever we put on our children's lap, they tend to take that and run with it by leaps and bounds. So unfortunately, you a city girl, your daughter, unfortunately, more than likely, you are sentenced her to becoming what's the next level from city girl? A city woman, a state girl, whatever. I don't know.
A city hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's shit. And that's exactly. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's what she's
I hope
setting
it
her up
doesn't,
for.
but you have stacked the deck against her.
A city stroll.
Oh.
Yeah, that's we definitely with social media. I do want to say this before we get into Crown Check. Social media, tonight's topic is media influence. With social media, especially, people got to understand that, especially if you have children, it's not what you say, it's how you go and go about it, how what you do and your mission about it. Because you can say everything you want to say, but if you're not doing it yourself and you're not leading by example, your children are going to go the opposite way. They're not going to listen to what you say. Remember, all of our parents told us to save and save. A lot of us ain't saved. Why? Because our parents ain't saved. People normally follow the direction, what they see. And I told you guys before, plenty of times that my stepson watched me get up and go to work every day and not complain. Now he goes up, get up to go to work, doesn't complain. He got promoted at a job within 3 months as a shift manager. Unheard of. But he understood when he got it. He said, thank you for showing me that you put in the work, you can do whatever you need to do. I never told him that he go to work and do what he got to do. He watched me go to work and do what I had to do. So
that's what's up.
It's very important. Your influence, your strongest influence comes from what you do, not what you say. That's why we got to be very mindful what we do in front of this camera. Forget what you say, because just like Bobby pointed out, you can talk about you don't want your daughter to be a city girl, or you can be like Cardi B and your daughter runs in the living room and you can cut your song off, but that's not going to stop them from researching and seeing your conduct and your behavior, your lyrics. Eventually, can't stop them from that. Once they see that and they say, my mommy was doing it, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And that's where it's going to start. That's where you're going to have the problem. So
they will forget the words you've given them. They will forget what you tell them. They will never forget your influence. They will never forget how you live life on a daily, day-to-day basis. They're going to take that, and it's always going to be right there.
Yep.
Exactly. So with that being said, we go into our crown check for the night. Woo!
All right.
You know why I'm here.
Anybody can think of who is tonight?
No? Crown check for the night got to be somebody who's heavy in the media, I would guess.
I got a couple possibles in my head.
Sure as hell ain't Oprah.
Nah. It's
Angela
somebody,
Bassett?
I would say this. Somebody who is the truth.
The truth?
Yes.
Sojourner Truth. All right, I'll take that.
Literally.
She's the truth.
So we got to go with the truth. Sojourner Truth, man, very powerful woman, community activist, civil rights activist. She was fighting for women's rights. She also led a lot of people, men and women, to freedom. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't the only one. She wasn't besides Harriet Tubman. She was leading people to freedom as well. She was a phenomenal woman that did a lot during her time. And if it wasn't for her, a lot of Black people and generations of your family would have either been born in slavery, killed in slavery, or basically survived slavery and end up being productive. That was probably because of Sojourner Truth. And a phenomenal woman. You guys can read up on her. She has tons and tons of stories and accolades and so much things. And I think a lot of women can gain a lot of positive attributes by learning what she was doing during a time that it was so difficult to do it. So you can overcome, when you talk about Black girl magic, the Black woman magic, definitely think about Sojourner Truth as one of those people. And no different than you, and you women out there, you guys can be that. You don't have to be a city girl. You don't have to be Sexy Red. You know, pave your way. That's going to make yourself, your legacy, stand away from everybody else, and also in a good light, and making sure that people recognize you and want to be like you, and not be at the fall of the wayside or gradually deteriorate because you're so fixated on image and not trying to build legacy and building your community. So also, a lot of people didn't know why she was called Sojourner Truth. The year 1843 was a turning point for Buffon, where on June 1st, the Pentecost Sunday, she changed her name to Sojourner Truth. She chose the name because she heard the Spirit of God calling on her to preach the truth.
All right.
And that's what she's been doing, preaching the truth. So that's what our segment today is. Don't worry about what people do. Go out here and be your authentic self. Go out here and push back on the bull crap and speak your truth. Speak truth to power, because even though you're the minority, a lot of people are out there looking for people to speak on their behalf. All right? And I'll let these guys sit back and wrap it up.
Yo, so first of all, shout out to the Crown Check recipient for this week, Sister Sojourner Truth. Powerful, powerful sister. Rick Roots Media, shout out to you. You can come on one of these days, man. Holla at me, man. We'll get you on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our sister Sojourner Truth, though. I just want to take some time out to highlight her well-known speech, "Ain't I a Woman?" And, you know, a lot of these people, she was an abolitionist, and like, you know, Anthony said, she helped free a lot of Black people as well. But the white media likes to take Sojourner Truth and take her "Ain't I a Woman" speech or poem and make it look like, you know, she was a feminist of some sort. And that's bullshit and couldn't be farther from the truth. "Ain't I a Woman" was actually calling out white supremacy. And if you listen to what she's saying, it's actually very prevalent. You know, she's basically saying, you know, that they have all these protections for women and all these ways that women are treated, you know, in a protected class and in a protected fashion, you know, but as being a Black woman, she was not afforded those protections. So that's where the phrase "Ain't I a Woman" comes from. If you even listen to the title, "Ain't I a Woman?" she's asking. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to think to yourself, why would she be asking, "Ain't I a woman?" And it's because the white supremacist system in this country at the time, hell, you can argue still at this time, does not treat Black women with the same protections that they treat women of other races, namely white women. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I'd like a lot of you Black feminists out there to take into account when you're out here calling yourself a Black feminist and railing against your men. You understand what I'm saying? The white supremacist system, they only tolerate you and exalt you when, as we pointed out earlier, you're going after Black men. Other than that, you're useless to them. So you need to get it together and understand that you are Black first, or you're supposed to be Black first. And if you're not, you're off code, because Black men and Black women are treated the same way in this country. The only time that you're treated a little better is when you're shitting on Black men. I just wanted to put that out there. So shout out to our sister, and shout out to her for coming out and making that very important statement and making that distinction between how the white supremacist system treats Black women and how it doesn't look out for them and protect them. Okay, so that's one. Two, our topic today was huge, people. You know, we talked about media influence on relationships. I could make that a broader umbrella and just talk about media influence on life. Media influences on Black people, because Black people watch more television and spend more time on the internet and spend more time watching movies and spend more time consuming media than any other race of people. And it is not helping us. Okay? You know, a lot of us are out here doing ridiculous things day in and day out just for attention, just for recognition, just to be seen. And we look dumb, y'all. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna call it what it is. We look ridiculous. We look pathetic right now. We got to tighten that up, because we have to understand, as I said earlier, the white supremacist system takes those images, those videos, those clips of us, you know, at our worst and representing the underbelly of our community, and they magnify that times 1 trillion and show it to the world and say, look how these niggas act. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to stop walking into the trap eyes wide shut, being willing participants and cooning for our 30 pieces of silver. We got to tighten up on that shit, you know. And I'll land my plane there, really, you know, because we've said most of what we had to say. But, you know, family, at the end of the day, like Ant just said, I want to reiterate his point. You know, we need to come out here and just start being ourselves, understanding that us being ourselves is good enough. Us looking like ourselves, us behaving in a decent, respectable manner, us behaving like we're educated. Where did this attitude come from that acting Black means that you got to act stupid? You got to act like you don't know how to talk. You understand what I'm saying? You got to, you know, talk about your coochie pink and your booty hole brown. Where'd that come from? That's acting Black. And see, the more that you allow this type of shit into our culture, the more that this type of shit becomes seen as our culture. That is not Black culture. You understand what I'm saying? It's not. But since we're letting it permeate, you know, our cultural circles, it is becoming more and more what is recognized as Black culture, and that is harmful to us. It gives people the wherewithal to think they can harm us and actually be able to harm us, and nothing happened to them. The next time an innocent Black person gets shot and killed for no damn reason, you need to look at these coons that's on social media every day, sullying our image and signaling to the dominant society we don't care about ourselves, so it's okay to harm us. I'm not saying that it's right or that they should. I'm saying that this is what they have been doing and will continue to do until we get a code and take control of this. You understand? We got to stop following behind the Keke Palmers. I'm going to get on the ladies for a minute, okay? We got to stop following behind the Keke Palmers, the Sierras, the Aisha Currys, the Jada Pinkett's, the hell, I could go on all day. It's so many of them. These women that come out here and act a damn fool, particularly when they are acting a fool in the capacity of disrespecting a Black man or Black men. And sisters, you get your stupid ass out here and you co-sign it. That ain't helping you. That ain't helping them, and it sure as hell ain't helping you. This is why 1 in 4 of you will ever get married, because you carry these ridiculous thought processes into relationships where you think it's okay to assault men, to embarrass your man publicly, so forth and so on. It's not. And you're going to get a lot of pushback from the men. You're going to hear a lot of pushback from the men. And some of these sisters are going to start to get canceled. That's just the long and short of it, because the men have had enough. And, you know, for brothers as well, you know, we see, you know, all these people out here in the media doing little coon ass shit. You know, we don't need to be following them, you know, but I'm putting it out there that we are having, greetings, Mila Renee, what's going on? We are having within the brothers, the community of brothers, we are doing a better job of checking that shit. We check each other. Yep. You all need to start checking each other and holding each other accountable. I saw a sister this week take a shot at a sister that we know. Despicable. You understand what I'm saying? Anthony pointed that out to me. I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not gonna get into the particulars of it, but instead of learning from those of us that are trying to, get on the right path and walk the straight and narrow, a lot of us criticize them and ridicule them, and that says more about you than it says about them.
Yeah.
A lot of us need to pick ourselves up out of the discount bin at the thrift store and out of the mentality of the low quality individual and get some decorum about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be on code, period. That's all. That's it. Because at the end of the day, we are we got. You understand? And when you got the media out here constantly showing images and portraying images, of a black family without the man in the family. Macy's did some slick shit like that. They had an article where they showed the white woman and her husband, and the kid, and, the Spanish person with the husband, whatever, and the black girl was just there with her kid. You understand what I'm saying? This is the type of shit. This is how they give you these backhanded compliments. You understand? They go out of their way to promote non-procreative relationships to black society in the media. LGBT relationships is the order of the day. And LGBT brothers and sisters, you a goddamn fool if you think these people give a damn about you. You still black. They don't care about you. They care about population control. That's what they care about. That's their agenda. My wife was saying to me last night about how, damn, why is it that in all of these shows, they're promoting younger men with older women? Gabrielle Union got a movie out right now where she's dating this damn toddler. And everybody's like, well, where does this come from? You know what I'm saying? Look at the new, what's that show? The 50 Cent has Raising Kanan. The older lady there and, the younger guy. It's just a theme now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, think about it. A younger man and an older woman, that's a non-procreative relationship. Tariq Nasheed actually talked about this first. And now when you examine it, you see it. Most older women, they're not trying to have kids in their 40s and 50s. Oh, that's something we need to promote. You gotta watch these goddamn agendas that they push and promote to you. And black women, for crying out loud, stop driving and supporting the narrative that the black man is the boogeyman and he is the threat to your community that everybody needs to be careful and watch out for. That is your protection mechanism. They get rid of us, you will walk in the park. Y'all sisters need to really, really realize that them blowing this smoke up your ass, talking about this black girl magic, is not them. That's not something that's flattering. They don't care about you. You understand what I'm saying? They're mocking you, and you walking into the trap eyes wide shut. That's me.
Yeah. Dope. That was super dope. Much needed. Bobby Drake. Take us home, Pastor Bobby. Pastor Bobby, take us home.
What you got, Drake? What's up?
Look, to make a long story short, there's not too much that's new under the sun. In fact, there's nothing new under the sun. To be honest, we should all be ashamed of ourselves.
Real
We
talk.
should feel bad because we look bad because we've been warned about this way in advance. Our good elder, El Haj Malik Shabazz, aka Malcolm X, warned us a long time ago that the media is not a friend of black people.
Real talk.
Media really isn't a friend to anybody, but specifically us, it's not a friend to us. That the media will have you loving the people that you should be despising, and I'll have you despising the people that you should be loving. The media is the fourth state. It is the fourth state. They're locked hand in hand with the people that seek to undermine us, that seek to keep us tossed in the back, that seek to keep us underfoot. They're not doing us any favors. When you see certain things like it's been highlighted as promoted and pushed to us that are thematic, that you keep seeing popping up, understand the media is a multi-trillion dollar, not billion dollar, multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Sure
All
is.
right.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as harmless content. Everything has media. Professor Blatchup has spoken about this ad nauseum in great length and detail. Um,
Yeah.
you know, these people aren't spending all these greenbacks just to put out content that's going to make you laugh and make you cry and make you scared and make you. It's media is messaging.
Yeah.
Period. Media is messaging. It's storytelling. It's it's conveying ideas, ideals, beliefs. It is programming. It is telling you how to think about certain things. It is framing certain things in a way for you to see them. It's about opening your mind to new ideas, both positive and negative, especially negative. And for the record, there's nothing wrong with taking in media, even the BS. There's nothing wrong with a little junk here and there. I mean, even when you eat clean, I mean, you can eat a clean, healthy diet, but there's nothing wrong with a cheat day here and there. You can take in some garbage here and there.
No doubt.
I think everyone, it's safe to say, has an artist or a song they listen to from time to time that they know is garbage, they know is trash,
Right.
but it's that guilty pleasure. It's okay. The problem is when the guilty pleasures become your main source of sustenance. That's
Mm-hmm.
when you have an issue.
No
And also
doubt.
when you go waltzing into things all naive, like, well, these people don't mean this, they wouldn't. Nah. Everything you watch, even kids shows, you need to be looking at with the mindset of, okay, what message are they trying to convey?
Yeah.
There's
Real
stuff that I
talk.
watch. There's shows and things that I've been a fan of as well that I know is BS. That knows in the garbage. But for whatever reason, it struck a chord with me. I'm not immune to it. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm aware. I see what they're doing. I'm not just sitting in, tuning in, and tuning out, and just letting just the feed just be downloaded without being rebuffed. Now, every little thing I catch, I'm playing Fruit Ninja in my mind. I'm slice, dice. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
because that nonsense has no home in here. Because I need this to be sharp as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see certain figures being promoted, the algorithms are pitching this and that to you. You see certain kind of content that's always going viral or whatever. You need to be asking yourself why. What is in this? Where's the trick bag?
Mm-hmm.
And if you check these comments, you'll see a lot of times a lot of people are more on the ball than you would believe. There's people calling
True.
it out.
Very true.
Yeah.
But usually in those cases, you have a surplus of idiots that try to talk them down and try to cuss them out. Oh, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. You're this, you're that, this and the third.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Iron Mike Tyson told you best. Everybody that helps you isn't your friend, and everybody that you fight isn't your enemy.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But if you don't have the ability to properly critically think, to take in information and properly filter it, well, if you don't have a working filter to begin with, then you're already stuck.
Yeah.
Real
A
talk.
lot of us need to be brainwashed, and I don't mean to be taken under by the influence. I mean we need to take our brains. We need to get some Clorox. We need some white vinegar. We need some OxyClean. We need to
Agreed.
detox our brains because there's so much part of my Swahili. There's so much shit caked in to the nooks and crannies and crevices that we can't tell up from down, left from right, front from back. And it's got us as a sitting duck out here because they use it and weaponize the media against us in that respect.
Yeah.
No doubt.
There was a time when we were so solid that even chains and slavery couldn't break us. That the
Mm-hmm.
black man and the black woman were the original dynamic duo, that they couldn't do nothing. They enslaved us. We broke loose. We traveled hundreds and hundreds of miles to be reconnected with our families, to reconnect with our husbands, to reconnect with our wives. Even when we were forbidden to be married, we were still getting married in secret and celebrating in secret. They couldn't tear us apart. And now they don't have to do a damn thing, they don't have to lift a finger. In some cases, they can actually afford to try and get us back together. But they know the
Mm-hmm.
damage is so extensive that even their best efforts are going to return void.
Yeah.
We need to stop it. Wake up. It's
Yeah.
bigger than a it's bigger than a kiki. It's bigger than a JT. It's bigger than all these other little celebrity tips we're seeing. What we're seeing, it's not about these individual issues that pop up on social media. Look at the comments, look at the feedback, look at the dialogue that's being had about this. It's about the mind state of the people and how they see these things. That's where the issue lies.
There you go.
All these things are doing is serving to bring these things to the surface. We got some work that needs to be done. But like we said earlier, you need to take down those defenses, otherwise nothing's going to get fixed. Men, we have work to do. We're not all right. We got issues we got to sort out. Women, you have work to do. You have issues to sort out. You are not all right. And as long as you're here clinging to your bullshit while demanding that the other side lets go, we can't get healthy. We can't get whole. At some point, you got to get sick of the nonsense that we're in and realize, you know what? The effort it takes to remain in this nonsense is a whole lot more than the effort it takes to get on the same page. Then we can become whole again.
Yeah.
Solid.
All the girl gang nonsense, all the boy band stuff that we got going on, it's not worth it. We did not come into this planet to be alone and be by ourselves. That's not how man was designed.
Yeah.
Men need women.
Yeah.
Women need men. We need each other. This is not acceptable. But that's for another day, another time. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. Dope. They both brought it home. Ain't nothing else for me to say, but I'm appreciative of everybody at least being patient with me. I am under the weather, but I wanted to make sure that this was a show that was on schedule to do today. It was a very powerful show. It's always been a powerful show, but this one was very special and very key. And we didn't want to lose momentum because of this week episodes of what was chaos that was going on. So we hope you appreciate it. You guys can tell a friend to tell a friend. They can look back and listen to the back play on it. And anything else you guys want to know, don't feel free to email us. Don't be scared, but feel free to email us and let us know what you got going on. What do you need us for? Maybe you might need us for an event or something. Just holler at us, manversations2020@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. So
like, share,
we up out of
subscribe.
here.
Yes.
Like, share, and subscribe. Make
And
sure
leave it
you-
in the comments. Yeah.
Definitely.
Title, it's more of a love album.